Work. It's an exciting time, Will Vance, as again, high school football season is finally back in West Virginia. We had an exciting game last night between George Washington and Cabell Midland, and we're hoping for another good game here this evening between Scott Skyhawks and the Herbert Hoover Huskies.
Yeah, last night we talked about how we're looking at two teams that have high aspiration in the playoffs. Same situation tonight. We have a team that was number one overall seed going into last year's playoff, didn't really pan out the way they wanted to, and then for Scott, you've got a team that made it to the playoffs for the first time in quite a while last year, a team that's really building something and on the rise. So two teams with a lot of expectations coming into 2022.
Yeah, two teams that had very different looking seasons last year. Herbert Hoover, perfect 10-0 in the regular season, earned that number one seed, ultimately lost to the defending state champions, Fairmont Senior, in the first round. Senior ended up going on to win the state championship again last year. Third time in 5 seasons that Fairmont Senior has done that feat now. But Hoover ready to turn the page to a new chapter here this year. Third season under head coach Joey Fields. And Skyhawks looking to change things up as well. On the playoff bubble all last year, finally did enough there late in the season, got to 7-3 regular season record, earned the 9th seed, but ultimately came up short and fell to Robert Seabird on the road.
Yeah, I mean, just breaking through, that's a big, kind of a limit to pass. Once you're a team that can expect to get in playoff and they have the ability, that's huge for a team. So, good work by Coach Dolan there to kind of turn around the culture there, and it's just a progress that has to continue this year for Scott.
As we mentioned, first time since 2014 the Skyhawks made the playoffs last year. We get ready for things here at Joe Eddie Cowley Field as Herbert Hoover will kick things off to start tonight's contest. Hoover clad in red jerseys, red pants, what with the blue helmet. Will and I were talking earlier, looks a little bit like Ole Miss when they break out the all reds with the blue helmet. And Scott out in the white tops, black numbers outlined in yellow with the black pants. And we have an illegal procedure, I believe, on the kickoff, probably an offside as a flag came in over from the far side. So they will have to re-tee it up here to officially kick things off, and they'll back it up 5 to the 35. So, yeah, it wasn't offside.
And that's back-to-back games we've seen this week that's had that first kickoff have an issue with it. It's one of those things that, especially when you zone in high school in the early game, something, takes a little bit more practice.
Yeah, last night it was an illegal procedure on the kickoff where the kicker for GW, Rylan Moorhead, sent it out of bounds. But GW was able to force Cabell Midland into 2 straight 3-and-outs to start last night's game. Took a 14-0 lead and ended up winning 28-21 after getting 2 late fumbles forced and recovered in the second half of the game to come away with that win. But we're ready here for Herbert Hoover and Scott. A high kick back to the 20. That is fielded on the near side by Braden Clark. Clark at the 30 is met and breaks out a 1 tackle, but can't get away from the second defender. And Scott with decent starting field position to start 2022 here in week number 1.
Yeah, good position to start with, but also an excellent tackle there, really showing the excitement of this home crowd. Really excited to see some hitting again.
Herbert Hoover fans with a lot to be excited about, hoping to build off that 10-0 undefeated regular season last year. Scott sends out 2 receivers to the far side. Matt Fry, the junior quarterback, in the shotgun with a wingback to the left of the formation. Handoff goes to the tailback coming to the left side, and he is smothered for a loss. Back to the 25-yard line. David Fennessy, the carry there, stopped before he could even get back to the line of scrimmage. Rollison in on the stop coming up from his safety position.
Loss of 4 yards on the play.
So they're going to spot it a 4-yard loss back to the 26-yard line. So Fry lines up in the shotgun once again. Same formation for the Scott Skyhawks. Man in motion. Handoff on a jet sweep goes to Carson Brenniger. Brenniger coming up inside the middle of the field. He'll gain back a couple of yards lost there, as he'll get back a yard shy of the original line of scrimmage. We'll spot him down at the 29-yard line. Bring up 3rd and 11 here. And, well, what do you draw up here on the opening drive of the season on 3rd and long?
They've got a quarterback they trust, a returning guy, and One of their top playmakers, Stone, really makes his presence known on the outside. So, likely a pass here, but it's hard to tell this early in the season.
A 4 wide receiver set for the Skyhawks here on 3rd and long. 2 receivers to each side. Fry takes a shotgun snap. Under some pressure, going to roll out to his right, escapes the pressure, throws it down the field, and it is out of bounds. But we do have a flag in the backfield. More than likely a hold, and yes, it is. That'll back him up 10 yards. But if you're Herbert Hoover, you're going to decline the penalty because that'll bring up 4th and 11.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and want to just get the ball back here, not give him another chance to pull off a Hail Mary or something like that. And surely enough, turning it down, going to go ahead and punt it away.
And how great for Hoover's defense to start off this first drive of the season with a nice 3 and out, get your offense the football and put them out there on the field to put some points up potentially.
Well, not even just 3 and out, but pushing them back a yard over the course of that. So real good, encouraging sign for this Hoover defense off the bat.
Especially seeing Hoover flying to the football already, seeing 3-4 guys swarming to the ball on those first 3 plays. Snap is back to the offensive lineman, Caden Clemens, who is the punter. Shanks that punt. It'll skip out of bounds across midfield and go out at the 48-yard line of Herbert Hoover. So fantastic starting field position for the Huskies to start off their first drive in 2022.
Yeah, real early in the game, but everything coming up Herbert Hoover so far.
So Huskies head out on the field offensively. Dane Hatfield, the junior quarterback, back for another season at the helm of this offense for the Huskies.
And after starting as a freshman, huge to have this guy back. A guy who potentially could be leading Hoover for a long time, and just huge asset for this team to have a returning guy like that from a team that had so much success.
Speaking, I said he was a junior quarterback earlier, sophomore quarterback. My apologies. All Kanawha Valley last year, rookie of the year. And before the first play gets snapped from the line of scrimmage for Herbert Hoover, they're going to take a timeout. While they discuss things on the field, we'll step aside for a quick break and be back with more high school game day action right after this.
Dutch Miller Chevrolet in Huntington, we just received our biggest allocation of vehicles since the start of the pandemic. With more than 60 brand new Equinox and Silverados, we're ready to move them with no payments for 90 days. Text or chat at DutchMillerChevy.com. It's the summer sales event going on now at Dutch Miller Ford of Ripley. Make no payments for 90 days, a guaranteed minimum $3,000 for any trade, and 0% financing. Text or chat now and even get pre-approved at DutchMillerFord.com. Right now at Dutch Miller Hyundai, make no payments for 90 days and ask about 2.9% financing on select models. Don't forget, every Hyundai comes with Dutch Miller's exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Text or chat now at DutchMillerHyundai.com.
Back underway here at Joe Eddie Cowley Field. Designed run for the quarterback, Dane Hatfield, to the near side. Off the right side of the formation, he will gain nothing as the Huskies officially start the drive at the 47 instead of the 48. They moved it back a yard before the drive started. So 2nd and 10 after the no gain run by Hatfield. Back in the shotgun again. Our receivers split out to each side of the formation. Gavin Allison, the offset man, on the right side of the formation. Hatfield takes a shotgun snap. Read option, going to keep it himself, and he'll get near midfield. We do have a flag down in the middle of the field, and that's more than likely holding and potentially going to push the Huskies back.
Yeah, that region of the field, hard to see it being much else, but so far, only been 2 plays, but Scott's done a pretty good job of stuffing up the line of scrimmage.
And it is a hold against the Huskies, or excuse me, a chop block against the Huskies, so that will back the offense up for Herbert Hoover. Waiting to see where they start marking it off from. They're going to mark it off, I believe, from the 49 where the flag was thrown. And that is a 15-yard penalty. Excuse me, they're going to mark it off from the 48. So a yard ahead of where the line of scrimmage was. Bring up 2nd and 26 now for the Huskies offense.
One of those, both teams, coming in with just a killer penalty in their first drive. Of course, Hoover denied. Scott's going to let them punt it away.
Hatfield airing one deep down the far side of the field. He's got his man in stride. Levi Paxton. Paxton breaks a tackle inside the 20, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Herbert Hoover. What a throw from sophomore quarterback Dane Hatfield. Finds his senior wideout Paxton streaking down the far sideline. And what a great job to break out of that tackle, too, and stay on his feet to get into the end zone. 6-0 Huskies lead with 9:26 to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, just one of those plays that really gets the crowd excited. Hatfield walking along the track right now, getting the fans fired up. Just one of the explosive plays that can really blow a game open like that. But Scott's got to know that that's just one score, and that defense held up pretty well right up until there.
Out for the extra point now. Paxton, they're going to fake it. Hatfield rolling. That's not Rollison rolling out. He was the holder, tried to get into the end zone, couldn't do so. So point after try, no good. 6-0. Hoover still leads. 9:26 to go in this first quarter. Initial impressions of both of these teams well after a drive by each team.
Both are out here, doing what with the game plan they want to work with. Hoover wants to really run through their quarterback. Hatfield makes a lot of sense talking about all the accolades he got as a freshman. And Scott's just trying to get this backfield going and play tough defense. That defense, did pretty well against the run, but just that pass just killed him with that long play, and especially the breaking out of the tackle after the catch was made.
Second year in a row, these two teams facing off to start the season. Last year, Scott falling to Herbert Hoover 24-9, but it was one of the better games that someone played against Herbert Hoover last year. It was 14-9 at halftime, and the Huskies were held to just 10 more points in the game. So a really good defensive effort last year by the Scott Skyhawks. We'll have to see if they can continue, but have to rebound after that last drive.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you look at the box scores from Herbert Hoover last year. I mean, what Scott did was fairly impressive. So
twice the Huskies put up 70 points on an opposition last year.
So this is a team that knows that they can at least compete with these guys. They have another year of experience together under their coach, who's really turning things around, Dolan. So they have to be at least more confident than they were last year.
So getting ready to get things back underway after the extra point was no good from the Huskies. End over end kick deep back into the end zone for a touchback. And that, folks, is why Levi Paxton is committed to Marshall University as a kicker for the next level of his career.
Yeah, I mean, you rarely see those touchbacks. I mean, it's to the point where you don't see touchbacks so much that they just don't even let you return them. In high school, in West Virginia at least, if it's touchback, you get it to 20. So, that's just another layer. A lot of teams just simply don't have is a special teams guy who can really be a difference maker like that.
So out come the Skyhawks now for their second possession of this 2022 season, excuse me. Shotgun wing formation. Handoff goes to the back, up the middle, and carrying it there for the Skyhawks was Kyle Fox.
Fox on the carry. Number 21, Samuel Sawyers on the tackle.
Fox picks up a decent gain there on first down
That was number 31.
as he made his way up to the 23-yard line. Bring up 2nd and 7. Under 9 to go here in the first quarter. Skyhawks trailing by a touchdown. Just a second possession for either side. Fry looking down the far sideline for his man on one-on-one coverage, trying to find Isaiah Bush. Bush, the intended target. Dane Hatfield, normally playing quarterback for the Huskies, also gets it done on the defensive end as well for the Huskies, and he breaks up the pass attempt there, playing the safety spot.
I mean, that's what, especially getting that into double and single, you got to have those two-way guys, and he's one of the best there is here in the Cardinal Conference.
And just a sophomore, a bright future ahead for him and the Huskies. 3rd down and 7 now, and before the play gets snapped, a timeout requested and granted to Herbert Hoover. So that's the 2nd timeout now the Huskies have taken here in the first quarter. Clock stopped, 8:40 to go, with the Huskies leading 6-0. We'll step aside for a quick break and then be back with more of the high school game day brought to you by Parmar Stores. How long was that touchdown?
This is our biggest event ever with the most cars and the most offers.
We've got 4 locations of inventory. Not only are we selling at our main lots, but we've got centers at Lamar and the Old Sports Market Plaza. Every test drive is a chance to win $1,000. Buy a car and get your choice for $1,000 cash, no payments until 2023, 250 gallons of gas, or take a bigger discount.
With the best trade-in figures powered by Kelly Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, you can get the best deals of the year.
Go to topv4.com and see for yourself.
At Dutch Miller Chevrolet in Huntington, we just received our biggest allocation of vehicles.
Fry rolling to his right, fires over to the far sideline, trying to find his intended target, Jaden Sharps. That pass is incomplete as Dane Hatfield there again providing coverage for the Huskies secondary. So 4th and 8 now, 4th and 7 for the Skyhawks to punt it away.
Yeah, Scott really trying to get their passing game going here, but so far 0 of 3. Really good coverage from the Hoover secondary, especially those guys over on the far side of the field.
So Caden Clemens hoping for a better punt this time. A wobbler off the side of his foot. A much better punt, but not much farther. It's skied higher, but it does take a Scott bounce, and it will end up being a better punt. They will down it at the 42-yard line, so a 6-yard better punt, but it looked a lot better that time, and now the Scott defense has to come back out once more.
Yeah, that first stunt might have just been, first game of the season, getting the cobwebs off the leg there, but a little bit better field position. Just got to watch out for that big play that Hoover's known for.
So 1st and 10 now for the Huskies from their own 42-yard line. Paxton split out wide to the top of the formation. 2 tight ends set. Hatfield and shotgun. Read option, going to take it off the left side. Trying to cut up the far side hash marks, and he will make his way up near the 45-yard line. 3-yard pickup after Finnessy makes contact with him from his outside linebacker spot. 2nd and 7 now. Man in motion comes Paxton to the near side. 2 tight end set, 2 receivers to the near side. So an ace formation for the Huskies here with Rocco Fry, the sophomore tailback, in the backfield with his sophomore quarterback, Dane Hatfield. Hatfield in the offense looking over to the play call on the sideline from Joey Fields and his staff. Hatfield slings it to the near side, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Bush picks it off, reads his eyes the entire way, and Bush has got a lane to the end zone. He's got reservations for 6. Does he get in? Yes, he does. Touchdown, Skyhawks. Isaiah Bush, the sophomore cornerback, read it the entire way and had a convoy of blockers set up in front of him that allowed him to get into the end zone after a jump over the pylon.
Yeah, that's huge for Scott. That's exactly what you want here in the first quarter. Great read, great job getting exactly where it was going, and great job beating. Hatfield was trying to prevent the touchdown. Great job making it into the end zone there, and potentially tying this game up.
Potentially taking the lead, rather. It's tied game now. The scoreboard was wrong there for just a second. So out to try the extra point is Dalton Milam. Late man running on for Scott. Needed another body out there. Only had 10. It was about a 50-yard interception return. The kick is blocked, so we will stay tied at 6-all. 7:57 to go here in the first quarter. We've got ourselves a tie ball game after a 50-yard interception return for a touchdown by Isaiah Bush. Put the Skyhawks on the scoreboard. We'll step aside for a quick break and then be back with more high school game day action brought to you by Parmar right after this.
It's the summer sales event going on now at Dutch Miller Ford of Ripton. Make no payments for 90 days, a guaranteed minimum $3,000 for any trade, and 0% financing. Text or chat now and even get pre-approved at DutchMillerFord.com. Right now at Dutch Miller Hyundai, make no payments for 90 days and ask about 2.9% financing on select models. Don't forget, every Hyundai comes with Dutch Miller's exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Text or chat now at DutchMillerHyundai.com. At Dutch Miller Jeep of South Charleston, we continue to be the #1 Jeep dealer in the entire state of West Virginia. The reason? Friends and family pricing for everyone, which means you always get the best deal right up front. Don't see the vehicle you're looking for? Then ask about ordering the vehicle you want, the way you want it, faster, direct from the manufacturer. Right now, during the Make This the Summer event, get a $250 gas card upon delivery of your brand new Jeep. Text or chat now at DutchMillerJeep.com. Okay, Amy, are you going to pass or press your Dutch?
I'm going to press my Dutch. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Stop!
Back here at Joe Eddie Cowley Field, 6-all ball game after the Skyhawks take it 50 yards to the house on a pick six from Isaiah Bush. Now returning for the Huskies is Fry over on the far side, takes it up the far side hash mark across the 35. And a nice return there by Fry as he'll get up to the 37-yard line. But we do have an injured player on the field for the Huskies. Can't quite tell who that is. And while we don't want to speculate just yet, so we'll let the training staff come out and see to him. Hopefully everything is okay. It appears to be Braden Jones, senior wide receiver for the Huskies. And this is definitely does not appear to be a cramp. That's all I can say. I don't want to, again, speculate, but hopefully it's a cramp. We can hope. Because, again, it is really humid here this evening, folks. It always is humid these first couple of weeks.
Especially when you're right next to the Elk River, put off that moisture. But we talked about it last night too. Early couple games in West Virginia, it is going to be muggy.
So while the training staff see to him, we'll take this opportunity to thank our sponsors for our broadcast this evening. Again, Adam Rogers, Will Vance, and our Nitro Broadcast Network here in our Frontier Communications broadcast booth. Happy to have you with us here this evening. West Virginia Coal Association, and still, coal keeps the lights on. Martin Transport, join the team of highly skilled CDL drivers for the best pay and benefits. Mullins Plumbing and Heating, a proud partner of Game Day. Contact us today for a free consultation. Good to see now that Braden Jones is up and walking off under his own power. Again, may have just been cramps, but you couldn't really tell the way he was kind of writhing around on the ground in pain. But cramps definitely hurt, especially when you're running at full speed.
Yeah, he had been kind of in the pile where that tackle was made on the kickoff, so maybe just, it's hard to tell. But good thing is he's off the field, seems to be all right. Hopefully we'll see him back in this game.
Yeah, it's a positive sign always seeing a player walk off the field under their own power. So great to see him on the sideline talking to the coaches and standing up under his own strength. Beautiful evening here in Kanawha County, northern part of the county. About 79 degrees right now. It's a little muggy.
A little nicer when those storms were passing through. They didn't actually rain here, but it was kind of moving through the area. Now it's past us, and that mugginess is setting back in.
So again, we will keep an eye on the cramps throughout the broadcast this evening because it will play a factor, I'm sure, at some point in tonight's ballgame. It typically does in the first couple of weeks in West Virginia high school football. Again, tie ball game, 6-all after the Skyhawks defense registered a pick six the last time out. How do the Huskies respond now with the game tied again at 6? Hatfield on a read option, keeping it himself up across the 40, up near the 45, and he's got himself close to a first down.
Brought down by number 51.
He's going to go up across the 45 to the 46, so give him 9 on that first down run. Brings up 2nd and 1 now.
Second down and 2 for the Huskies.
before the play develops here. It's blown dead. Yeah, having a chin strap issue, it appears, for the Skyhawks secondary. Going to try to button that up and get it taken care of. Clock stopped with 6:56 to go here in the opening quarter. Again, tie ball game, 6-all. Huskies scored on their opening drive of the game with a 66-yard touchdown pass from Dane Hatfield to Levi Paxton. Their two-point conversion try ended up being no good. And then the Skyhawks punted it away and then got a pick six to tie it up. Handoff goes to Fry. Fry off the left side, has a first down across midfield and then some as he's brought down near the 45-yard line.
Ball spotted on the 45.
Spotted at the 45, give him 9 yards on that run. Back-to-back 9-yard runs by this Huskies offense. 1st and 10. First time in Skyhawk territory this evening. Hatfield keeps it himself, and he'll lose a yard back to the 46-yard line. As again, that first drive the Huskies scored on was a 66-yard touchdown pass, so they weren't actually in Skyhawk territory. Second and 11 on the way now for the Huskies. Hatfield in the shotgun, Fry standing to his right, and an offside will be called on Scott as they just couldn't hold their water on that hard count. And it appears that's David Fennessy being called for the offside. So now, after a great stop on first down, now you're setting up 2nd and 6 for the Skyhawk defense.
Yeah, almost kind of wiping out that really good play they made. Still didn't get the first down, though. So far, decent job against the run. Couple bigger ones just now, though. 2nd and 6, handoff, or rather, Hatfield keeps it himself on another read option, and he's down inside the 35. Nice run there by Hatfield. You can see why he was so successful last year. Helped lead this Husky offense to be one of the best, actually the best offense in the state in terms of yardage. I think it was the 2nd best team in terms of points per game last year, if I recall correctly. 1st and 10, though, for the Huskies, and Herbert Hoover now going to be backed up as Braden Jones couldn't hold his water on the outside as that lone receiver to the near side of the formation. So back them up 5, and it'll be 1st and 15 now from the Scott 38.
Start against the Huskies, 5-yard.
37-yard line.
First down and 15.
Randy Hugart into the backfield now. Here in potentially the student section chant his name in their construction worker garb, hard hats and safety vests for the Herbert Hoover student section. Hugart takes the handoff, picks up a couple of yards, gets down to the 35-yard line.
Hugart on the carry.
Bring up 2nd and long now for this Husky offense.
Yeah, I can't tell if it's a neon theme or a construction theme, or maybe both that's going on for Herbert Hoover fans down here. But also Scott brought a whole lot of fans too. That's a fairly full visiting student section over there.
Decent trip from Boone County, too, to come up here on a Friday evening. But it's the first game of the year. The Skyhawks are excited about it, as are the Husky fans, and as are we here in our Frontier Communications broadcast booth. Snap comes back to Hatfield, going to drop back to throw, steps up in the pocket, wailing duck, and that one's picked off again. This time it's Carson Brenniger with the interception. Brenniger bringing it up the near sideline. He's going to be tackled down around the shoulders just across the 40-yard lines, but a clean tackle to bring him out of bounds. But a nice return there by Carson Brenniger, the sophomore free safety, to see that wailing in the air and to step into the lane and snare it from the intended target.
Yeah, we thought Bush really set up for his. I mean, that one was just, read the whole way, brought it back a good solid 30 yards or so, setting his team up in a very good situation.
I think the Huskies were looking for a touchdown, but Skyhawks instead had other plans. Now send the offense out on the field to try to take the lead here for the first time this evening. Fry under some heavy pressure, going to roll out to his left, heaves it down the left side of the field, looking for one of 2 players in the area. He had Braden Clark and Isaiah Bush in the vicinity, but it falls in between the 2 of them harmlessly to the turf, and it'll bring up 2nd and 10 after the incompletion.
Bush was well covered, but had half a chance of that one, but Fry still looking for her first completion, 0 of 4 so far.
2nd and 10. Preston Cooper, their tight end, coming in now for the Skyhawks. And he will attach himself to the left side of the offensive line. Fry drops back to pass. Looking for a screenplay. It's gobbled up, throws it across the middle of the field, and he was closer to throwing it to the official than he was to a Skyhawk player. And now we've got a flag over on the far side of the field. This could be against the Skyhawks sideline.
It could be that. I mean, there was a lot of bodies moving around. It could be holding, but I didn't see it personally. We'll just have to find out here. No, it was holding.
So that'll back Scott up now.
When you have a okay, dead ball personal foul, I guess. Didn't see that one.
And they'll mark it off from the spot of the foul. So it'll be 3rd and long upcoming for the Skyhawks. Excuse me, since it was dead ball, they'll mark it off from the line of scrimmage.
I guess a little bit of a silver lining there. You know, West Virginia high school football, marking off from the spot of the foul is so brutal.
So 3rd down and long. Trip back to the capital city for Scott. Snap is down on the ground. Fry able to somehow get it back up. Slings it across the middle, finds Braden Clark. But Clark can't hold on to it thanks to great defensive coverage there by Dalton Myers. Excuse me, actually I think that was, that was Levi Paxton. I thought that was Paxton there. The numbers scrunched up, got me too there. But Paxton was a kicker last year, has stepped into a bigger role for this Hoover team, had that opening score of the game on the 66-yard touchdown reception, and he's playing some great defense for this Hoover defense. Snap back to Clemens. Nice kick this time. A good end-over-end kick. Going to take a Skyhawk bounce down inside the 35, and it'll be down at the 33. A much better kick that time from Caden Clemens.
Sure, Clemens would have rather not have already punted 3 times, but each one has been better than the previous. So, some of the first game activities you kind of see along the peripheral of the game, special teams really getting back into it just like the offense and defense.
Now the question begins for Herbert Hoover. How does Dane Hatfield respond after throwing back-to-back interceptions on the last 2 drives?
He's completed, or all 3 of his passes have been caught, one by his team for a 66-yard touchdown and 2 interceptions. So maybe just looking for regular completion out of this one.
They're going to hand it off up the middle this time on 1st and 10. Rocco Fry up the gut will pick up 3 yards up to the 36-yard line. Actually, excuse me, the 35, give him 2 yards. One receiver split out to each side of the formation. A heavy load on the right side of the offensive line. It's a quarterback power for Hatfield, and Hatfield is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Great job coming in by the inside linebacker, Isaiah Brown, the senior. Does a great job of blowing that play up and holding him to no gain.
Yeah, Hoover doing a really good, Scott doing a really good job of containing, one of the most explosive players in their conference. Still early, but really doing a good job of showing they're up to the challenge against this offense so far.
3rd down and 8 on the way for the Huskies. Things have slowed down quite a bit for Herbert Hoover's offense since that opening drive 66-yard touchdown pass. Again, back-to-back interceptions for this Scott defense on consecutive drives. Hatfield in the shotgun, and the play clock has run dead. But I believe they're going to get Herbert Hoover with a timeout. Yes, they will. A timeout for, they are going to get the delay of game. Wasn't sure if Hoover called a timeout or not, but they've already used 2 in this first quarter, so you don't really want to have none in the second if you get into a bind.
A lot of teams like to do the more college-style look to the sideline. We saw George Washington do it yesterday and some from Howell Midland, but you always run that risk if the clock's still running just as much time as if you weren't looking to the sideline. So,
like right now, under 10 seconds on the play clock for the Huskies. 5 seconds now as they break, and now they have to call that 3rd and final timeout here in the first quarter with 2:13 to go in the first. We're still tied 6-all. We'll keep you right here, though, in the Frontier Communications broadcast booth. Adam Rogers, Will Vance, our Nitro Broadcast Network crew. Happy to have you with us here in the Frontier Communications booth. Want to thank our crew this evening, our producer and director, Dr. Joe Oliver, our camera operators, Ryan Robinson and Easton Hilbert. Appreciate their efforts this evening. And their efforts wouldn't be possible without our sponsors for our broadcast tonight. Want to thank Peddler's Bar and Grill. Peddler's Bar and Grill, proud to sponsor Herbert Hoover Athletics, located at 12 Maywood Avenue, Clendenin, West Virginia. Family-friendly atmosphere, made from scratch food and full drink menu. Come see us soon. We'll be waiting for you. Mama Payne's Diner. Mama Payne's Diner, located at 14 Main Street in Clendenin. Daily specials, plus many more regular menu items come in as customers leave as family. And Clendenin Brewing Company. Clendenin Brewing Company is a major part of the town's comeback after the devastating 2016 floods. The brewery is now open Thursday through Sunday, serving craft beer and food. Visit ClendeninBrewing.net to purchase brewery hats, t-shirts, and other swag in support of the newest addition to the town. Back underway, Huskies take the snap. Hatfield drops back to throw, and that's caught across the middle by Braden Jones. Jones across midfield, brought down inside the 40, and the ball is on the ground. The Skyhawks stripped the football out, but I believe Jones is able to recover it. Yeah, the officials point the direction of Herbert Hoover. Jones, after getting stripped, jumps back on top of the football.
Ball spotted on the 37-yard line.
Well spotted at the 37. A nice gain there by Herbert Hoover that almost got wiped off.
It looks like about 32 yards there. Big chunk play to really get this offense back on track.
Again, that almost derailed it, though, there as Jones got stripped by two Skyhawk defenders, got fortunate and was able to jump back on top of it. So 1st and 10 from the Scott 37 for Herbert Hoover. Rocco Fry with a run off the left side, a nice rumble down near the 30-yard line.
Brought down by number 9.
Fry wrapped up by David Fennessy. You're going to hear Fennessy's name called quite a bit in this Scott defensive unit. This will also make an impact on offense as well. A lot of two-way players for both of these teams. Pickup of 6 brings up 2nd and 4 for Herbert Hoover. Just over a minute to go here in the first quarter. Tie ball game still at 6-all. Huskies run a quarterback power to the right. Hatfield trying to break out of a tackle, but holding on to him for dear life there is the middle linebacker, Ty Mitchell. A sophomore brings him down to the ground. We now have under a minute here in this first quarter remaining. Excuse me, now we have under a minute here in the first quarter as they roll and first down on the run from Hatfield. 1st and 10 from the 26. Excuse me, from the 27. Hatfield in the ace shotgun. Handoff goes up the middle, and he is stuffed. Fry met immediately there. Wrapping him up is the defensive end, Keaton Wheatley. And that'll be a 2-yard loss on the run. Back him up to the 29-yard line.
I've been pretty impressed with Scott defense so far. You know, they've given up a couple chunk plays, but overall doing a pretty decent job holding up against, like we said, one of the very top offenses in West Virginia from last season.
Again, this is a Scott defense that held this Hoover offense to just 14 points in the first half last year in Game 1, 24 points for the game overall. And as we get ready to turn the clock over to the second quarter, so far holding this high-power Hoover offense to just 6 points and forcing 2 turnovers and almost forced a third.
Yeah, just really giving their team a shot here heading into the first quarter tied. Not too bad.
As we head over to the second quarter, teams will flip into the field, the clock gets reset, and we'll come back for more right after this here on the High School Game Day, brought to you by Parmar Stores.
Press my Dutch. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy, stop. That's the grand prize.
Congratulations, Wes. You've won this brand new Kia Sportage for only $269 a month.
Okay, Amy, are you going to pass or press your Dutch?
I'm gonna press my Dutch. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy, stop.
All right, Wes, your turn. Are you going to pass or press your Dutch? I'm going to press my Dutch. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy, stop. That's the grand prize.
Congratulations, Wes. You've won this brand new Kia Sportage for only $269 a month.
At Dutch Miller Nissan of Bristol, we're offering no payments for 90 days on any vehicle in stock. And with every vehicle purchased, we're donating $100 to help Eastern Kentucky flood victims. Text or chat now at DutchMillerNissan.com. Summer just keeps getting hotter, and there's 3 things I can't wait to do. Run around my sprinkler in my skivvies. You look over my fence, you might just get an eyeful. Pour me a tall glass of sweet.
Joe Eddie Cowley Field. 2nd and 12 on the way for the Herbert Hoover Huskies at the 28-yard line. Adam Rogers, Will Vance, happy to have you with us and our Nitro Broadcast Network crew here in our Parmar Stores Game of the Week on High School Game Day. Handoff up the middle is stuffed by the Skyhawks defense. Randy Hugert, senior tailback, brought down. He'll be brought back to the 29-yard line. A 1-yard loss on that run. Bring up 3rd down and 13. So we just got underway here in the second quarter. Score tied 6 apiece as both teams' extra point conversions have been unsuccessful. I believe it was a bobbled snap for the Huskies that caused them to try to go for 2 and were stopped. And then Scott's extra point try was blocked. So Scott scoring off of an interception return. 50 yards to the house. Huskies opening the scoring with a 66-yard touchdown pass to the man who was intended to catch the football right there. Levi Paxton just had it go through the breadbaskets. It was so wide open he couldn't believe it and may have heard the footsteps coming from behind him.
And you saw his head drop a little bit after that. He knew. Oh, you heard it from the fans too. Just it happens to pretty much any pass catcher at least once.
And I should mention, too, you may notice how dark it is here at the field. The lights actually had an issue, had a malfunction where they kicked off. Will went to go investigate a little bit ago. There is a power crew working on it, hopeful to get it back on, but that is why it is so dark here at Joe Eddie Cowley Field. Hatfield under some pressure, going to take off and run here on 4th and long. He's going to convert the first down, trying to get into the end zone, evades a tackler, and he gets in! A 30-yard touchdown run on 4th and 13. What a magical run by Dane Hatfield to slip and sway past defenders and dance into the end zone from 30 yards out and give the Huskies back a 12-6 lead.
Yeah, I mean, he probably could have gotten pushed out of bounds or tried to go out of bounds several times to try to be a little safer, but he trusted himself, got into that end zone, and put his team ahead.
Extra point try on the way for Levi Paxton. Kick is up, and it is good. 13-6, Huskies lead. Not quite a minute into the second quarter. And we'll keep you right here as Scott now has to figure out something offensively to get going, because again, its lone score has come from the defense, which has played pretty well so far. Unfortunate there on that rollout for the defense that Hatfield just had plenty of space in front of him because everybody was covering their man like they were supposed to in the secondary.
Yeah, I mean, as well as Scott's defense have been holding up for the most part. Obviously this gave up a touchdown, but about 2 yards of total offense here. Fry 0 of 6 so far, so they've really got to get something going, anything, even if it's not a score, just to try to get some confidence in this offensive unit. I will say, he might not have made a completion yet, but he's done a great job of avoiding the rush, of keeping himself off the ground, and a lot of those incompletions very well could have been a sack if he wasn't keeping his eyes downfield and really doing the things that you need to do to keep yourself clean as a quarterback.
So 11:03 to go here in the first half. Huskies take back a 7-point lead after a 30-yard touchdown run on 4th down and 13 from quarterback Dane Hatfield. Again, that is one of the reasons why he was named Kanawha Valley Rookie of the Year last year. Bringing it up on the return for the Skyhawks. Bottled up initially, but now breaking it out over to the far side of the field there is Carson Brinegar. One of them 2 men on the Scott defense with an interception. Had a nice run back on that interception as well. And this time he takes the return all the way up to across the 35-yard line. And they'll force him out of bounds at the 37. So about a 25-yard return there for Carson Brinegar.
Yeah, especially considering how good of a kicker Hoover has, to be able to bring it out, have such a good return, up nearly to the 40 is a good way to, oh, lights are on now. But good way to start this drive, especially when they really need some spark.
We'll call it the magic touch. I turned the lights on in our Frontier Communications broadcast booth, and then the lights came on at the field. So we'll say we've got the magic touch here. Fry slings it across the middle, and it's caught, I believe. Yes, it is caught. Braden Clark had to stretch the entire length of his body to bring that football in. Great snare there from him. Fry completes it to him for a, for a 27-yard pickup, right? 13-yard, from the 37 to midfield. So a first down there, and the first completion for Fry of the first half.
That first completion can make such a difference for a quarterback. There's a second one.
Flip it out to Brenniger on a screen into the flat. Brenniger with a nice gain across midfield as he crossed the line of scrimmage, down near the 40-yard line, and he'll be just shy of a first down as they'll spot him at the 42, so give him 8 yards on that pickup.
And number 9, Michael Taylor on the tackle.
Scott going now from left to right across your screen. Skyhawks lining up in the shotgun. Fry takes a shotgun snap, looks to his left under some heavy pressure, and he just gets rid of it, but that should be an intentional grounding. There was nobody in the area, but he may have gotten out of the tackle box. They do throw a flag back in the backfield, but I think they're going to talk about it.
Yeah, it's hard to tell there. I mean, Fry's done a pretty good job of escaping that pressure, but just couldn't quite get away that time. Still managed to get the ball off, but it seems like, doesn't matter. Should have taken the sack.
Yeah, because at that point the sack is better than where the penalty yardage results, because then you also lose the down anyway. So instead of it being second down, now it's third down and long for the Skyhawks. So definitely should have taken the sack there. And that's
of course, in the moment, it's really hard to delegate that. So
exactly.
Easy for us to say.
Third and long now for the Skyhawks. 3rd and 19 to be precise. Huskies having to hustle a big guy off the field. Zach Greer, the nose guard, finally gets off before the snap. Fry under some pressure. He's sacked this time. Huskies get back to him inside the 35, and that'll bring up 4th down. Defensive end, Caden Dotson wraps him up and wrestles him down.
Brings up a
4th and 25 for Scott, and out comes Caden Clemens to punt once again. Or rather, I should say, shifting from left tackle to go to punt is Caden Clemens. 9:13 to go here in this first half. Huskies leading 13-6 in this 2022 season opener. First football Friday night in West Virginia. Clemens takes the snap, gets a decent kick away this time. Little sidewinder as it'll skip out of bounds near the 25, and they will say it is out at the 25. So yeah, good kick. He's gotten deeper and deeper kicks and putting Herbert Hoover back farther and farther on the field with each successive punt.
And with such a big play team, you definitely want them as far back as you can get them.
So Huskies now 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Looking to string together some scoring drives here before the end of the half. Under 9 to go now until halftime. Adam Rogers, Will Vance, our Nitro Broadcast Network crew, happy to have you with us here in our Frontier Communications broadcast booth. Watching High School Game Day, brought to you by Parmar Stores, our game of the week. Hatfield in the shotgun, going to keep it himself. Roll off the right. He's into the second level, across the first down marker, and then some, and he is forced out of bounds. We do have a flag over on the far side, but as it stands right now, it is enough for a first down on the run by Hatfield.
Do have a flag on the play.
Going to wait to see what the result of this is, but it's in the vicinity of a hold.
Right around where Hatfield turned the corner on that run. So there it is, a hold right there.
So this will back the Huskies up. 10 yards from the 25-yard line, the line of scrimmage. It was a spot foul, but the spot foul came at the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 1st and 20 now for Herbert Hoover. Great crowd on hand for tonight's game. And Will, you and I got to see Scott twice last year, went down to Boone County, saw the Skyhawks on their homecoming. It was a great atmosphere, great crowd there. So no surprise to see the Skyhawk fans travel up here from Boone County to northern Kanawha County to watch this game tonight.
Yeah, especially considering kind of what we touched on, their coach finally getting something going, their players getting back into the playoffs and really having some momentum. So definitely good to see their fans realizing that and coming to support these guys.
Hatfield takes a shotgun snap, keeps it on a quarterback power, and he is rumbled to the ground back at near the 10-yard line. That's a 4-yard loss back to the 11. So bring up 2nd and 24.
Hatfield now with 9 carries for 51 yards and that impressive touchdown run that led to that most recent touchdown.
And that there is offsetting some of the negative yardage that Hatfield's been saddled with the last couple of plays. With that 30-yard touchdown run inserted in the middle. 2nd and a country mile for Hatfield. Delivers a nice ball across the middle, but led a little too much there for Levi Paxton coming on that post route. Bring up 3rd and 24 for the Huskies. Clock stopped with 8:43 to go here in the first half. We talk about the Scott fans here this evening, but a fantastic showing this evening from Herbert Hoover fans as well. Again, on the rebuild here in this community after the devastating floods of 2016, and then COVID for the last couple of years. This community has really rallied together, and we talked with Joey Fields about the resurgency of the program and the community. As Hatfield tries to fire it over to Paxton again on the far sideline. Pass is broken up by Jaden Sharps. And that'll bring up 4th down now for the Huskies.
Brings up a 4th down and long for the Huskies.
A good job there by Scott's defense of really hanging there and forcing the punt. 3 straight incompletions now for Hatfield.
And it'll be the first time this evening that Paxton has punted the football away. The Huskies have either scored or thrown an interception on their possessions in this first half. So, the 2 interceptions are bookended by those 2 touchdowns. A high snap back to Paxton as he caught it in his own end zone, but a beautiful punt caught back at the 46-yard line by Brinegar. Brinegar going to bring it up over on the far side, out to the sideline, and he'll have a great return there, up inside the 25, down to inside the 20. What a return by Carson Brinegar. Took it from the 46-yard line all the way down to the 18, I believe.
Brinegar also had that 2nd interception. Didn't return for a touchdown, but had a very impressive about 30, 40-yard return. So one of those guys who's just dangerous in the return game with the ball in his hand, whether it be an interception or a punt return.
He also had a nice kickoff return earlier in this first half as well. When he's got some open space in front of him, he is a hard man to track down and bring down. Fry in the shotgun now, going to hand it off on a jet sweep to Brinegar, coming to the near side. Brinegar high steps out of a tackle, coming to the near side, and he's forced out of bounds inside the 15. We do have a flag on the field on the near side. And this is a block in the back against Scott, so that negates what's a pretty decent first down run there by Carson Brinegar on that jet sweep.
Yeah, kind of definitely not what we want to see when you're able to get the ball down inside the 20 on the return, but still very good field position. Just have to, make it to get that first down if they can't score on the first couple plays.
So it'll be 1st down and long now, back to the 17-yard line. Just over 8 minutes to go here in the first half. Scott hoping to tie the game up here. Pass intended to go out on a screen, looking for Kyle Fox, but a great job by Isaiah Chapman, senior, coming up to get his hands in that passing lane and knock it down. One of the reasons why he was named a second-team All-State Class AA defensive lineman last year, and one of the leaders of this Hoover team. You're going to hear his name probably quite a bit more this evening.
Yeah, this defensive line's done a pretty good job being disruptive and putting a lot of pressure on Fry, who's done a largely good job of avoiding it, but hasn't been able to complete too many passes. So really holding back this passing game with that pass rush. 2nd and
17 for the Skyhawks. Fry dropping back to pass once more. Airing it out over to the far side. That is caught, and turning upfield now is Bush. Isaiah Bush bringing it up near the first down. Lost his helmet on the way down to the ground. Rollison bringing him to the field. On 2nd and 17, he picks up about 14. Will bring up 3rd and 3. Skyhawks trying to build some momentum here. 2 receivers set to each side of the formation for Scott. Snap is on the ground, picked up by the tailback, but unable to get much ground. But a heads-up play there by the tailback, Kyle Fox, to see the ball on the ground after the low snap and to scoop it up and just go straight ahead with it.
Yeah, I mean, that's about as well as you could come out on that type of play, with it being no loss and all that good stuff.
So now with 4th down and short upcoming, Scott going to take a timeout. Jeremy Dolan wants to talk things over with his coaching staff and his players before deciding what play to run here on 4th and short. While they talk things over, we'll step aside for a quick break here with 7:23 to go in the first half. Skyhawks trailing by a touchdown. We'll be back with more right after this.
The challenges facing the country never stop. So neither does the U.S. Army. We train, adapt, and get smarter. Every soldier, every unit, every day. Not to keep up with change, but to drive it. Nobody knows what problem.
Brinegar took a 4th and short handoff off the right side, and they are going to have to bring the chains out over from the far side of the field to come measure this, because he is awfully close to that 1st down marker, and they want to make absolutely certain before they move the chains ahead.
And from this awkward angle we're at, I think he made it, but we'll find out here soon.
So here comes the measurement. We're going to pull out the binoculars here to see if we can spot where the ball is in relation to the chain, and he is short. Ends up actually being about a full yard short, surprisingly. Again, from our angle, it looked like it might have been closer than it was, but tough result there for the Skyhawks. After having a great return on the punt, you finally forced the Huskies to punt it away after getting 2 interceptions and 4 drives before that, but it seemed like the offense had some momentum there and just can't convert on 4th and short.
Yeah, that's a frustrating lost drive they're having started, I believe, the 18.
So back out are the Huskies offense. Just over 7 minutes to go here in this first half. Hatfield going to keep it himself, stretching it out wide to the far side of the field. And we have a flag coming in late on the play. See what this flag is for. And it is a hold, and that will back Hoover up 10 yards. And if you're Scott, that's the kind of thing you want to see after being unable to convert, because now Herbert Hoover back inside their own 10-yard line.
They have been able to get into that Hoover backfield, so if they stay aggressive, could put Hoover in a difficult spot here backed up.
Down inside their own 5. at the 3. Hatfield in his own end zone, takes a snap, goes off the left side. He does get out of the end zone and will get maybe across the line of scrimmage for a yard or so.
Brought down by number 55, Connor Hughes.
And they're going to give him up to the 5. Up to the 5. So 2nd and long upcoming for the Huskies.
A 2nd down and 16 for the Huskies.
About 6.5 minutes to go here in this first half. Huskies lead by a touchdown. Again, I want to remind you, this is a Scott team in the first game last year against these Huskies. Held Herbert Hoover to just 14 points in the second half. On that same trend right now. Hatfield, though, trying to buck the trend. Has a nice gain on 2nd and long across the 35 and out near the 40. Must have heard me talking about what happened last year offensively and said, you know, we're going to put some more points on the board. It's still got a long way to go, but a nice start to the drive there.
Yeah, just an impressive, simple, sweep around that right side. They've had a lot of success running to the right side of their formations, both sides of the field.
22-yard run there by Hatfield. Looking good out in the open space for the sophomore. Looking over to the sideline for the play call. Huskies getting ready. 3 seconds on the play clock. 2, 1. Finally get the snap off. Ball is on the ground. Nobody there to stop Scott from picking it up. Ty Mitchell scoops, and he'll go into the end zone. But they are going to say that Hatfield was down on the ground.
I don't know about that one.
Quarterback is sacked by number 44.
Hatfield got sacked, lost the football, and they're going to say he was down before the ball came out. So instead of a scoop and score for Ty Mitchell, it's just a sack for the Scott defense and sets up 2nd and long for the Huskies offense now. Much to the dismay of the Skyhawk fans across the way, sitting just off the banks of the Elk River.
I think that's all a little bit closer to what I saw inside of the refs, but so be it.
Hatfield under some pressure, is wrapped up initially, finally brought down by a host of Skyhawk defenders flocking to the football and holding Hatfield to just a short gain there. We are going to have an official's timeout. Looks like potentially cramps starting to set in over there. Connor Hughes down on the ground for just a moment. Able to get up, though, and walk off under his own power, so great to see once again. 3rd and 15 upcoming now for Scott. Or, excuse me, for Herbert Hoover.
Down and 15 for the Huskies.
And, normally you look at this as a passing down, but they've shown they can get 13 yards on the ground, especially when Hatfield goes ahead and keeps it. So, really have the opportunity to keep Scott guessing on what they're trying to do here on a long 3rd down.
Hatfield already had a 22-yard run earlier on this drive, had a 30-yard touchdown run on 4th and long that gave Herbert Hoover back this 13-6 lead. Now under 5 to go here in the first half. Play clock now under 10 seconds for the Huskies. Herbert Hoover trying to get a win here in week 1 in the final season of Joe Eddie Cowley Field. Hatfield under heavy pressure, and he is wrapped up and brought down deep in the backfield. Inside the 10-yard line, we do have a flag down on the field in the vicinity of where that play ended, though.
And we'll wait to see what this call was, but if it's against Hoover or against Scott, that's a very disappointing end face mask against Scott.
Yeah, that's definitely not the result you want to see there after your defense did such a great job of forcing Hatfield out of the pocket, rolling him out, and then bringing him down deep in the backfield.
And really on this drive where they've done such a good job of making him uncomfortable and getting some hits on him and just to let that happen. Still, though, not an automatic first down.
Penalty will be a face mask penalty.
So 3rd and long, but not as long as it was just a few moments ago for Herbert Hoover. 3rd and about a long 11. We'll call it 3rd and 12 officially. Hoover looking over to the play call on the sideline. Plenty of time on the play clock for him here this time. Receiver set to each side. Hatfield dropping back to pass. Wants to throw down the near sideline. That one almost intercepted again by Brinegar. Brinegar was in position to make the interception as Hatfield was looking for his wide receiver Jacob Burns. Burns just couldn't get in front of Brinegar in time to catch that football, and Brinegar just dropped it off of his hands.
Yeah, Brinegar was coming up with the second one there. Brinegar really a guy who's stood out on offense and defense and special teams for this team, now dropping back to receive the punt.
Again, Brinegar had a good punt return the last time. The Skyhawks unable to convert on a 4th and short, though, to keep that drive alive the last time Scott had the football. Levi Paxton set to send it away. A late player coming on. That's Dane Hatfield. He'll line up wide out to the near side. And now a delay of game, I believe, against the Huskies, if I saw that correctly. Yeah, delay of game.
Marching them back.
Yeah, they're going to march them back 5 yards and make it 4th down and 17 now. A little more than 4 minutes to go until halftime. Huskies leading the Skyhawks 13-6. Adam Rogers, Will Vance, and our Nitro Broadcast Network crew. Happy to have you with us here in our Frontier Communications broadcast booth. A good punt from Paxton. Brenner going to let it bounce, and it'll bounce out of bounds in front of the 40-yard line. So decent field position here. It'll mark at the 40. So 60 yards to go for the Skyhawks to try and tie this game up before the half comes to an end.
Yeah, plenty of time left. As we said before, this offense just really defense holding up pretty well. Offense just needs to try to string together a couple plays, go to your playmakers, especially here before heading into the half. You need to have some confidence that while you might not score, that you can get some first downs, get some progress.
So 1st and 10 from their own 40 for the Skyhawks. Fry in the shotgun. 2 receivers set to each side of the formation. Pump fake looking across the middle, rolling to his left, throwing left, has it caught. Braden Clark makes a sliding grab on the near sideline as he gets across midfield. It was one-on-one there. Clark wearing 1 for the Skyhawks and 1 Jones for the Huskies. Jones staying down a little bit there after the end of that play, and again, potentially cramping could be setting in as he hobbles over, sit on the bench here on the near sideline, try to stretch things out.
Fry really get more comfortable as this game goes along. Missed his first 6 passes. Since then, he's completed 4 of his last 5. So kind of settling down, getting this offense moving a little bit.
1st and 10, fresh set of downs for the Skyhawks in Hoover territory. Fry darts one out to the near side. That is caught by Sharps. Sharps finally wrapped up inside the 40 by 2 defenders. Marquise Walker and Andrew Rollison bringing him down. Not before Sharps, though, is able to get inside the 40. And that'll bring up 2nd and 2 for the Skyhawks.
2nd down and 2.
Two receivers set to each side of the formation for Scott. Clark and Sharps to the near side. Finnegan in the backfield, or Finnessy in the backfield, excuse me. Fry trying to throw it out into the flat to Clark. Pass incomplete will bring up 3rd and 2. Stops the clock with 3:02 to go here in this first half.
Well, they obviously would have liked to complete that one. An incompletion every now and then when you're coming up on halftime is not the end of the world.
So now what do the Skyhawks draw up here on 3rd and short? Would love to be able to tie the game before the half, too, because the Huskies are set to get the football once the second half gets underway after winning the toss and deferring to the second half. Handoff up the middle went to Finnessy. Finnessy upended and lost the football, actually. Able to jump on top of it is Gavin Bias, the right tackle. And it's a loss of 1 back to the 40, so 4th and 3 on the way for Scott, and they will punt it away as the clock moves now. A little more than 2:30 to go until halftime.
Their punts have edged towards the sideline, so from this distance, they might be able to pin them back real deep.
Again, Clemens' kicks have gotten better and better since his opening one. A low snap, he's able to get it off, though, but a really bad kick that time. It's spins and spins sideways out of bounds and goes out after a little more than 10 yards.
And honestly, it was a bad punt, but he had Cale Johnson right in his face. It seemed like he tried to punt it to the side to avoid Cole Johnson, do a better job of getting away from him, because it very well could have been blocked if he hadn't gone to the side. So I see what he was doing there. Still not as much yards as they would have liked to have seen.
So 1st and 32 now for Herbert Hoover with just over 2 to go in this first half. Would love to get a 2-for-1 situation here, getting the football back to start half number 2. Handoff goes to Rocco Fry. Fry kept his legs moving. Should have been stopped well short of the first down, but kept him churning, and he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A pickup of 13 on first down.
Fry, five carries for 30 yards so far, becoming a pretty big part of this offense.
Fresh set of downs for the Huskies as the clock now rolls to under 2 minutes left in the first half. And Herbert Hoover leading by 7. Handoff goes this time to Hugert. Hugert stopped at the line of scrimmage and maybe stopped in the backfield for a loss. Yeah, they will say he drops for a loss of 1. Great penetration by the by the Skyhawks defense. That linebacking unit is being really furious out there. Isaiah Brown and Ty Mitchell doing a fantastic job leading that defensive unit tonight for the Skyhawks. Again, Adam Rogers, Will Vance, happy to have you with us here on our high school game day Par-Mar Stores Game of the Week between Herbert Hoover and Scott. Snap comes back to Hatfield, rolling to his left, surveying the field, has plenty of time, now going to tuck and roll and going to get out of bounds. He'll pick up the yard lost on the previous play, and now some extracurriculars here on the near side. No flag coming in. Surprisingly, happening right in front of us. We just saw Andrew Rollison shove a Scott player that was sitting on the Scott bench.
And when you let something like that go, I don't think they saw it. There were a lot of players between the refs and the what happened. But when stuff like that just goes without being called, that can turn into some problems later on.
They're going to say that Hatfield got back 2 yards there on that run. Give him up to the 41. A little more than a minute to go in this first half. 1:06 to go with the clock stopped after Hatfield ran out of bounds to keep that time preserved. 3rd and 9 on the way for the Huskies. Hatfield going to roll quarterback power to the outside on the right side of the formation, and he is stopped in the backfield. Flying up to make that stop. That was the Skyhawks, Carter McClung, sophomore defensive back, coming up to make that hit out in space. And that'll bring up 4th and long as Hatfield loses about 5 yards on that run.
Yeah, Hatfield really breaks some long runs, but largely, they've been able to do a good job of stringing them out more often than not.
West Virginia Coal Association, and still Coal keeps the lights on in the stadium. We appreciate their sponsorship for our broadcast this evening. Paxton punts it away. A good punt here from Paxton. Brenniger going to field it inside the 10 at the 9 and bring it up. Up across the 20, he's across the 30, up across the 40 as he high steps another tackler, and finally brought down around the 45, and we've got a late flag coming in, but a great return there by Carson Brenniger to bring it up from the 9 all the way up near the 45-yard line. We'll wait to see what the flag is, though, here on the play. Could be a devastating penalty if it's against the Skyhawks in terms of field position, because could back you up 5, 10, 15 yards depending on what the foul is.
They're chatting with the Skyhawk offense or coaches, so hard to tell. Looks like it's against Hoover.
Yeah, see the official pointing, and it could potentially even be offsetting. Who knows? I only see the one flag out there. Also, yeah, there are 2 more farther downfield. Excuse me, back where the play nearly originally started from.
So maybe an offsides combined with whatever happened over there where they're chatting. We'll see.
So we're going to get the chop block on Herbert Hoover. and a block in the back, offsetting penalties. So the Huskies will have to kick and do it all over again. Also want to thank Martin Transport. Join the team of highly skilled CDL drivers for the best pay and benefits. And we want to thank Mullins Plumbing and Heating, a proud partner of Game Day. Contact us today for a free consultation. We also can't forget about our friends at Peddler's Bar and Grill, Mama Payne's Diner, and the Clendenin Brewing Company. So again, both penalties offsetting. We will re-kick here on 4th down and 14 for the Huskies with 42 seconds to go on the clock. Snap comes back to Paxton, gets it away. Not as deep of a kick, bounces at the 25. Brenniger will field it at the 19. Brenniger going to bring it over to the far side of the field. Got a nice block, but a flag comes in on that one too. So another penalty on consecutive plays, and this one probably is going to go against the Skyhawks. Looked like an illegal block in the back.
And a little emphasis on the block, and Adam, I mentioned this a little bit ago, when the refs don't get on it early, it kind of tends to escalate. So I think we saw a little bit of that right there.
Yep, seeing a block in the back against the Skyhawks. They'll march it off from the spot of the foul. And Scott will get the football back with about 30 seconds to go here until halftime. And would imagine that Scott will probably just try to run out the rest of this clock and go into the locker room content being down just a touchdown and content giving up just 13 points to this high-powered Herbert Hoover offense, especially the way this defense has been playing for the Skyhawks. 2 interceptions, almost had a 3rd turnover with a forced fumble. This has been a great job by the Scott defense. Just needs a little bit more help from this offense.
Yeah, like if the offense can get going, defense playing really well, the return game's really going, punting game's hit and miss. But Brenniger's, I've been really impressed with him so far. His returns have been excellent every time, so let's see if they can do something here.
Skyhawks going to air it out and fire it to Brenniger across the middle of the field. He's got a first down up across the 30-yard line, just shy of the 35, and now Scott going to take one of their timeouts to stop the clock with 22.8 seconds to go. So they're going to talk some things over. And Adam Rogers will advance here in our Frontier Communications broadcast booth. Happy to have you with us here in our high school game day Parmar Stores Game of the Week on RSN Sports, powered, of course, by HD Media. Appreciate you tuning in to our broadcasts this evening, as we also have another game brewing over in Putnam County for one of our games of the week, with Hurricane and Winfield battling it out there. Should be a heck of a game. Head coach Donnie Mays in his first season now as Hurricane. New coaching staff at Winfield as well. But that's always a rivalry people in Putnam County get excited for.
Especially one of those rare cross-divisional rivalries. Winfield obviously used to be AAA, now double, so that's why that happened. But always a passionate game. Usually start the season with it. I live over in Hurricane. I know that it's something that does you see a little bit of it. So it's interesting. Curious to find out here real soon what that score is.
1st and 10, back on the field, ready to go after the timeout by Scott. Fry steps up in the pocket and avoids the pressure, takes off running now, trying to get over to the near sideline to get out of bounds, and he does so, gets the first down, and stops the clock with 15.1 seconds left. Heads up play there by Fry to know the situation at hand, that he's got to get out of bounds because they want to try to preserve those timeouts that they still have before the end of the half.
Good job by Jaden Sharps, doing a great job of getting in the way of the defender, not doing a legal block, and letting him get to that end zone.
1st and 10 for the Skyhawks. Fry rolling to his left, pointing out traffic. Going to step out of one tackle, steps up, fires a dart over the far side of the field, and is it caught? Yes, it is. Brenniger with the reception. Another first down for the Skyhawks, and he got out of bounds to stop the clock with 4.9 seconds left to go in the first half. Skyhawks have a chance to take a shot at the end zone before halftime here. Ball spotted at the 37-yard line. A great throw there and great patience by Fry, directing the traffic, stepping up, avoiding the pressure, and making a drive. Fry going to try to get out of some pressure here deep in his own backfield, back inside his own territory. Now going to heave it deep, looking toward the end zone. Passes up, deflected, And it is incomplete. And that will bring us to the end of the first half. What a contest here this evening in Clendenin between the Scott Skyhawks and the Herbert Hoover Huskies. A great way to start the final season here at Joe Eddie Cowley Field as Herbert Hoover leads 13-6 over Scott. We'll step aside for a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll have some action on the field from the bands as we get ready for halftime for you here on our high school game day, Par-Mar Stores Game of the Week. We're back right after this.
Tomorrow will bring, but we do know who will solve them. Before there could be a nation, there had to be people willing to fight for it, to take on the world's greatest challenges, whatever they might be. So the U.S. Army masters not only tactics and strategy, but also physics and chemistry. We make battle plans and create breakthroughs in medicine, science, and engineering. Our next mission could be anything, so we prepare for everything.
Packed with 9 essential nutrients, low-fat chocolate milk can be an important part of your recovery routine. Be sure to grab a chocolate milk after your next workout.
What started as the Par-Mar Oil Company in 1967 has grown into 116 convenience stores in 4 states. Par-Mar convenience stores offer monthly product specials and grab-and-go items. Located just down the street from where you live, Par-Mar stores are all about being your above-par convenience store. If you don't have a Par-Mar store near you now, you will soon. Par-Mar convenience stores, neighbors serving your community and making life a little bit easier every day.
Every day, around the clock, 24/7. Hundreds of Thomas Health System doctors, nurses, and staff are focused on making quality care and wellness our utmost priority for you and your family. Each one of us is personally committed to your optimal health and well-being. Thomas Memorial Hospital and St. Francis Hospital. Your trusted, personal choice for a lifetime of good health.
Ball Toyota is here for you. Gas prices got you down? Toyota has a hybrid for everyone, like the 53 MPG Corolla or Camry, the 58 MPG Prius, the 41 MPG RAV4, the 40 MPG Venza, and the 36 MPG Highlander. Need more room or want to haul a trailer or boat? Get the new 22 MPG Tundra Hybrid. Give your new Toyota the protection it deserves with a genuine Toyota service contract. Visit balltoyota.com. Ball Toyota of Charleston. It's a whole new ballgame.
Looking for a friendly bank that you can turn to in your community? Bank where the decisions on your needs are made locally. With online banking and 7 locations. Poco Valley Bank, where relationships matter.
I'm attorney Bobby Warner. Congress recently created a fund to compensate victims of Camp Lejeune who were exposed to toxic waters between 1953 and 1987. If you or a loved one were diagnosed with cancer or other health issues related to toxic water exposure at Camp Lejeune, call today for a free case evaluation.
Bobby Warner, now's the time. Call 345-6789.
At Dutch Miller Nissan of Bristol, we're offering no payments for 90 days on any vehicle in stock. And with every vehicle purchased, we're donating $100 to help Eastern Kentucky flood victims. Text or chat now at DutchMillerNissan.com. Summer.
In Kanawha County classrooms, students of all ages and abilities have access to cutting-edge technologies and ideas. Here, students are supported by a community of teachers, coaches, parents, and administrators with the tradition of ensuring that each child has an equal opportunity to thrive. Where the answer to every what if is we're ready. We're ready to dream bigger, to climb higher. We're ready. Kanawha County Schools, ready for the world.
The challenges facing the country never stop. So neither does the U.S. Army. We train, adapt, and get smarter. Every soldier, every unit, every day. Not to keep up with change, but to drive it. Nobody knows what problems tomorrow will bring, but we do know who will solve them. Before there could be a nation, there had to be people willing to fight for it, to take on the world's greatest challenges, whatever they might be. So the U.S. Army masters not only tactics and strategy, but also physics and chemistry. We make battle plans and create breakthroughs in medicine, science, and engineering. Our next mission could be anything, so we prepare for everything.
Packed with 9 essential nutrients, low-fat chocolate milk can be an important part of your recovery routine. Be sure to grab a chocolate milk after your next workout.
What started as the Parmar Oil Company in 1967 has grown into 116 convenience stores in 4 states. Parmar convenience stores offer monthly product specials and grab-and-go items. Located just down the street from where you live, Parmar stores are all about being your above-par convenience store. If you don't have a Parmar store near you now, you will soon. Parmar Convenience Stores, neighbors serving your community and making life a little bit easier every day.
Every day, around the clock, 24/7. Hundreds of Thomas Health System doctors, nurses, and staff are focused on making quality care and wellness our utmost priority for you and your family. Each one of us is personally committed to your optimal health and well-being. Thomas Memorial Hospital and St. Francis Hospital. Your trusted, personal choice for a lifetime of good health.
Ball Toyota is here for you. Gas prices got you down? Toyota has a hybrid for everyone, like the 53 MPG Corolla or Camry, the 58 MPG Prius, the 41 MPG RAV4, the 40 MPG Venza, and the 36 MPG Highlander. Need more room or want to haul a trailer or boat? Get the new 22 MPG Tundra Hybrid. Give your new Toyota the protection it deserves with a genuine Toyota service contract. Visit balltoyota.com. Ball Toyota of Charleston. It's a whole new ballgame.
Looking for a friendly bank that you can turn to in your community? Bank where the decisions on your needs are made locally. With online banking and 7 locations. Poco Valley Bank, where relationships matter.
I'm attorney Bobby Warner. Congress recently created a fund to compensate victims of Camp Lejeune who were exposed to toxic waters between 1953 and 1987. If you or a loved one were diagnosed with cancer or other health issues related to toxic water exposure at Camp Lejeune, call today for a free case evaluation.
Bobby Warner, now's the time. Call 345-6789.
The challenges facing the country never stop. So neither does the U.S. Army. We train, adapt, and get smarter. Every soldier, every unit, every day. Not to keep up with change, but to drive it. Nobody knows what problems tomorrow will bring, but we do know who will solve them. Before there could be a nation, there had to be people willing to fight for it, to take on the world's greatest challenges, whatever they might be. So the U.S. Army masters not only tactics and strategy, but also physics and chemistry. We make battle plans and create breakthroughs in medicine, science, and engineering. Our next mission could be anything, so we prepare for everything.
Packed with 9 essential nutrients, low-fat chocolate milk can be an important part of your recovery routine. Be sure to grab a chocolate milk after your next workout.
What started as the Parmar Oil Company in 1967 has grown into 116 convenience stores in 4 states. Parmar convenience stores offer monthly product specials and grab-and-go items. Located just down the street from where you live, Parmar stores are all about being your above-par convenience store. If you don't have a Parmar store near you now, you will soon. Parmar Convenience Stores, neighbors serving your community and making life a little bit easier every day.
Every day, around the clock, 24/7. Hundreds of Thomas Health System doctors, nurses, and staff are focused on making quality care and wellness our utmost priority for you and your family. Each one of us is personally committed to your optimal health and well-being. Thomas Memorial Hospital and St. Francis Hospital. Your trusted, personal choice for a lifetime of good health.
Ball Toyota is here for you. Gas prices got you down? Toyota has a hybrid for everyone, like the 53 MPG Corolla or Camry, the 58 MPG Prius, the 41 MPG RAV4, the 40 MPG Venza, and the 36 MPG Highlander. Need more room or want to haul a trailer or boat? Get the new 22 MPG Tundra Hybrid. Give your new Toyota the protection it deserves with a genuine Toyota service contract. Visit balltoyota.com. Ball Toyota of Charleston. It's a whole new ballgame.
Looking for a friendly bank that you can turn to in your community? Bank where the decisions on your needs are made locally. With online banking and 7 locations. Poco Valley Bank, where relationships matter.
I'm attorney Bobby Warner. Congress recently created a fund to compensate victims of Camp Lejeune who were exposed to toxic waters between 1953 and 1987. If you or a loved one were diagnosed with cancer or other health issues related to toxic water exposure at Camp Lejeune, call today for a free case evaluation.
Bobby Warner, now's the time. Call 345-6789.
Upriver. Denmark Huskies of Herbert Hoover.
Whenever you're ready to take me. Back here, Joe Eddie Cowley Field. Adam Rogers, Will Vance, our Nitro Broadcast Network crew here in our Frontier Communications broadcast booth with our high school game day, Parmar Stores game of the week. You caught the tail end there of the Pride of Herbert Hoover, the marching band under the direction of Malia Fisher. A great story with her earlier this year, too, before school started, partnering up with Capital in a time of need for the Cougars marching band.
Yeah, really just, a situation where, Capital needed some help, and they reached out and did a great job of, basically directing both bands there for a while. I believe Capital has since gotten their director of their own, but there for a while, just doing a great job of helping out, just helping, students do what they love to do, and that's, what educators are, great for doing.
She was literally directing the Hoover Marching Band in the morning, then in the afternoon was going and directing the Capital Marching Band because Capital's director had recently left. They hadn't hired anyone at the time, so she filled in, stepped in a void, and said it was because of what happened with the flooding in 2016 to this community, because so many people chipped in, gave all the support to her. She lost uniforms, instruments needed replaced. So much had to be done for this Herbert Hoover community and for the marching band to get back to where they are now. So she thought it was a no-brainer for me to go over and help them out in their time of need, like so many people helped us out.
Yeah, just a great story showing, not really much connection with Capital, and I guess Capital's on the northern side of Charleston, but just a great story of community, and just really someone help, because band is important, for a lot of kids, it's really a passion thing for a lot of these band player or band members and musicians. So great to have someone kind of go above and beyond to make sure that everybody gets to participate in such a vital thing in the high school experience.
And the heartwarming story gets even better because after she committed her time to coaching both marching bands before Capital hired another one, since they've hired their new director, they are now actually going to compete together, or perform together, I should say, not compete. They're going to perform together down at Disney World in Orlando, Florida. So a great opportunity for both groups of students from Capital High School and from Herbert Hoover's marching bands to get a chance to go to Disney and play on such a big stage like that. Will Vance and I work for Channel 13. We work with Spencer Adkins, big marching band guy. I'm sure he's excited about it because he's one of the people that helped tip us off to that story originally.
Spencer, number one thing he loves, weather. Number two is marching band.
We are getting closer to the second half kickoff between Herbert Hoover and Scott here at Joe Eddie Cowley Field. 57th season for this field, the final season for this field as well. They will soon move to a new facility where the new high school is being built. The renderings look absolutely beautiful. Cannot wait for that building to open, the school to open, the stadium is going to be absolutely first class. Joey Fields said in terms of facilities in the state, it's going to be WVU, Marshall, and Herbert Hoover, and he very well could be right. Based off the renderings we've seen, it looks like it's going to be an exceptional facility for this community to have. So again, a little more than 2 minutes now. I want to recap some of the scoring for you in this first half as it got started with Herbert Hoover having a 66-yard touchdown pass from Dane Hatfield to Levi Paxton. Their two-point conversion try ended up being, or their extra point try was no good. It ended up going for two on that because of a botched snap. But then a couple of drives later, the offense back out on the field for the Huskies trying to improve on that 6-0 lead. Well, the Skyhawks had something else in mind. It was Isaiah Bush taking it 50 yards to the house on a pick six to tie the game at 6-6. The Skyhawks' extra point kick was blocked. And then the Huskies took the lead on 4th down and 13. Dane Hatfield, showing the skills with his legs, marches it and dances his way into the end zone 30 yards out to take a 13-6 lead after the extra point from Paxton was good on the second try. That came with 11:03 to go in the second quarter. Scoreless since then. Our score on the board, 13-6 still. The Skyhawks defense played so well in that first half, forcing 2 turnovers, 2 interceptions on both of those, and then almost forced a third on a fumble recovery. This Skyhawks defense to limit this high-powered Herbert Hoover offense to just 13 points in the half is astounding. And again, want to remind folks that They held this Hoover offense to just 24 points last year, which was its lowest output of the season in game one. So not a surprise, but the Scott defense playing exceptionally well.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job of containing runs, really doing a good job of covering downfield. Hatfield's only been able to complete 2 of his 7 passes, 498 yards and a touchdown with those 2 interceptions. Doing a good job of stopping up the running game. Really, none of the Hoover runners have really had too much success except for Hatfield. Fry's carried it 5 times for 30 yards. So yeah, he's getting a little bit of action there. Hatfield, 14 carries for 73 yards. And Hugart having a rough time out there. 3 carries for a total of 0 yards combined. Hatfield out there already well over 150 combined total yards, 98 through the air and 73 on the ground. 2 total touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Then I'm looking at the other side, Scott's Fry. He started off 0 of 6 passing, really settled in, now 7 of 15 for 86 yards. Brenniger's been doing just a great job. We've called him a lot of times. He's leading receptions, 3 for 38. He had one of those interceptions and has been really big in the return game with 2 big punt returns.
And Fry has really turned the page since starting 0 for 6, just 2 incompletions the rest of the way in that first half for him. That was a big reason why the Skyhawks were able to have some extended drives in that first half and make it 13-6 on the scoreboard despite not scoring. They kept Hoover's high-powered offense off the field for a decent enough time to where this defense for the Skyhawks was able to recuperate and get going again.
And Adam, I touched on a little bit, you don't necessarily have to score to have some little confidence in yourself. Get a couple first downs, know that what you're doing can work, you just have to push it to that next level. And when you come into a second half of a game, we said where Scott was doing such a good defensive job, can they keep up that intensity, can they keep up the energy in the second half?
Before we get things started here in the second half, I want to thank our sponsors, West Virginia Coal Association, and still, coal keeps the stadium lights on. Martin Transport, join the team of highly skilled CDL drivers for the best pay and benefits. Mullins Plumbing and Heating, a proud partner of Game Day. Contact us today for a free consultation. Also want to thank Peddler's Bar and Grill, Mama Payne's Diner, and Clendenin Brewing Company. 12 minutes up on the clock, ball on the tee, Boot getting set to get to ball. Kickoff is away and fielded by Rocco at the 20-yard line. Rocco Fry brings it up across the 30, and he'll be brought down at the 32-yard line, I believe. 31, excuse me, where they spot the football. Decent field position to start off this second half for the Herbert Hoover Huskies.
Let's see if there have been any adjustments on this offense after having been held relatively in check by this defense.
Hatfield in the shotgun to start the second half, and an offside going to be called, or a false start, however you want to cut it, for the Huskies, as Jacob Burns couldn't stay put on the outside, on the near side of the field. So 5-yard loss. 1st and 15 now to start the drive for Herbert Hoover.
If you have to do it, at least do it on first down, I guess.
Watching our high school game day Parmar Stores Game of the Week on RSN Sports and HD Media platforms. Happy to have you with us. Adam Rogers, Will Vance, our Nitro Broadcast Network crew. Pleased to have you joining us from our Frontier Communications broadcast booth. Hatfield fires it out over the flats on the far side of the field. It's caught by Levi Paxton. Paxton will pick up the 5 yards, lost on that false start to begin the drive, and then add another yard there, so make it a 6-yard gain. 2nd and 9 on the way for Herbert Hoover. First football Friday night in West Virginia, and the weather has calmed down a bit in terms of the humidity, feeling much cooler now here along the banks of the Elk River, at least than it did maybe about a half hour ago.
In a relative sense, it's cooler.
Hatfield fires it over to the near side. A great throw caught by Burns. Burns has a first down, still on his feet. Finally brought down just shy of midfield as Brenniger wraps him up and brings him down. He was assisted there by David Fennessy, but not before the Huskies pick up a big first down as they'll move it up to the 48-yard line of the Huskies. First and 10 play on the way. Read option. Hatfield keeps it himself. And Hatfield will be brought down after a 1-yard run up to the 49-yard line. Excuse me, now they're going to mark him at midfield, so a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8 on the way for the Husky offense on the opening drive of the second half, trying to extend this 7-point lead over Scott here in week number 1. Hatfield rolling out to his right under some pressure, has the cross the line of scrimmage and chased that out of bounds, shy of the first down.
Number 13, Dane Hatfield.
Depending on where they spot the ball, it's either a 4 or a 5-yard gain. Give him 4. He's not quite up to the down to the 45-yard line rather. Got down to the 46, so a 4-yard pickup, 3rd and 3 on the way. Hatfield checks over to the sideline. 10 seconds on the play clock now. Again, this was a problem anyway in the first half for the Huskies, taking a little too much time at times. Fry takes a handoff, barrels over a defender, has the first down and then some as he rumbles his way down inside the 30. 17-yard pickup on the run by Rocco Fry. Man, he bulldozed one of those linebackers for the Skyhawks in the second level of that defense.
30 yards in just his past 2 carries.
He's going to take it
halftime.
Going to take another carry here down near the 25.
Down by number 55, Connor Hughes.
And they will spot him at the 27-yard line. A 2-yard pickup, 2nd and 8. Hatfield looking over to the sideline again for the signal. 10 seconds on the play clock now. And taking a little too long, or at least longer than you'd like probably. 3 seconds, 2, 1, and they just got that off. And well, now we're a late flag coming in over from the far sideline. Hatfield fights his way down inside the 25, just shy of the 20 to the 21. Again, we'll wait to see what the flag is coming over from the far side. An illegal shift by the Hoover offense, so negate the gain and back up the Huskies. And the Huskies have been finding themselves going backward quite often tonight, Will.
Yeah, you know, a lot of it's the small things. They've had several delay of games, and one of those, you know, they haven't had necessarily a big foul problem, but certainly backed themselves up in most of their drives at least once.
Husky student section chanting for Randy Hugert, who checks in the game now for Rocco Fry, again in their construction garb. Hard at work from the Husky student section. Hatfield play action fake, going to throw a screen out to Hugert in the flat. Hugert back across the line of scrimmage, has the first down, still on his feet inside the 10, brought down just shy of the 5, but this one could be coming back. We do have a flag on the field between the 25 and 30-yard line. Going to wait to see what this ruling is, but if it is against the Huskies, that negates a great gain on 2nd and long. And they're going to wave it off. No foul there. So first down there for the Huskies as they bring it down to the 6-yard line. A 26-yard run there, catch rather there by Randy Hugert. Senior with his first significant gain of the game. Under 9 to go in this 3rd quarter. Handoff to Hugert. Hugert brought down at the 5 after a 1-yard run. 2nd and goal from the 5 on the way after the middle linebacker, Isaiah Brown, the senior, wraps him up and brings him down. Hatfield in the shotgun has Hugert to his right. And now a flag comes in from the near side, a false start against the Huskies. Back them up 5 more yards, make it 1st and goal from the 10, and again, it's Jacob Burns. Just can't hold still there.
Yeah, just that first step he has, just loses his balance just a little bit, trying to lean forward. And there he goes to the sideline.
And he'll check out real quickly. They'll have a quick word with him just to try to get his mind right and reset him.
from the 10-yard line.
A little more than 8 to go here in the third quarter. 13-6 your score. Huskies with the lead and the football, marching toward the end zone. Second and goal from the 10. Handoff to Hugert, going off the left side guard. Hugert picks up a couple of yards lost after that last penalty.
Brought down by number 51, Milam.
I'll wait until they spot the ball. Gonna spot him down at the 7-yard line, so a 3-yard pickup. Fry back in the backfield now for Herbert Hoover on third and goal. Huskies looking over the sideline for the play call. 5 seconds on the play clock, and they're going to have to call a timeout. Yeah, timeout requested as the play clock got down to 1 second. You can hear you might be able to hear the Hoover fans get a little upset with how long it's taking to get things moving for them, but game clock stopped. 7:16 to go here in the third quarter. Huskies leading 13-6, facing a third and goal upcoming from the 7-yard line. We'll take this opportunity to thank our sponsors for this evening. Want to make certain that you check out Paddler's Bar and Grill, proud to support Herbert Hoover Athletics, located at 12 Maywood Avenue in Clendenin. Family-friendly atmosphere, made from scratch food and full drink menu. Come see us. We'll be waiting for you. Also want to thank Mama Payne's Diner, located at 14 Main Street in Clendenin. Daily specials plus many more regular items. Come in as customers, leave as family. Also want to thank Clendenin Brewing Company, a major part of the town's comeback after the devastating 2016 floods. The brewery is now open Thursday through Sunday, serving craft beer and food. Visit ClendeninBrewing.net to purchase brewery hats, t-shirts, and other swag in support of the newest addition to the town. Also want to make certain to thank West Virginia Coal Association, and still, coal keeps the stadium lights on. Martin Transport, join the team of highly skilled CDL drivers and for the best pay and benefits. And Mullins Plumbing and Heating, a proud partner of Game Day. Contact us today for a free consultation. Back on the field after the timeout. 7:16 to go here in the third quarter. Third and goal from the 7 on the way for the Huskies. Two receivers set. Man comes in motion now to the near side, though. Hatfield rolling to his left, throwing left. Caught inside the 5, trying to turn up and get into the end zone, and he does. Andrew Rollison crosses the goal line, and the Huskies extend the lead 19-6 with 7:11 to go in the third. Great design play there by the Huskies. Hatfield rolling to his left and throws a dart to Rollison for the 7-yard strike. We do have an injured Scott player down on the field. Again, looks like it could be a cramp. They'll see to him on the near side of the field as we get ready for the extra point, but a great pass play there by the Huskies to punch it into the end zone.
Yeah, classic, getting most of your receivers going vertical, get one guy going into the flat, find him, turn up field, got in there real nice. Go ahead and put him up, or extend their leads.
Rawson into the end zone there for the score from 7 yards out, makes it 19-6. Adam Rogers, Will Vance, happy to have you with us this evening with our Nitro Broadcast Network in the Frontier Communications broadcast booth. Don't forget, coming up in the fourth quarter, we'll have our Kroger Player of the Game. A couple of nominees already I'm sure Will is considering. Dane Hatfield probably one of those players at the top of the list, as he has collected his third touchdown of the evening, second through the air. Has that 30-yard rushing score on 4th and 13 sandwiched in between those two. As Paxton comes out for the extra point, it was Brenniger, I believe, who was down after that play. Appeared to be cramps. He was up and able to get off the field and walk off the field on his own power. Snap is botched back, and Rollison trying to stretch for the pylon to get in for a 2-point conversion try. It's no good. So it is still a 13-point game in favor of the Huskies. 19-6, Herbert Hoover leads with 7:11 to go in the third quarter. We'll step aside for a quick break and be back with more right after this here on our High School Game Day Par-Mar Stores Game of the Week.
is our biggest event ever with the most cards and the most offers.
We've got 4 locations of inventory. Not only are we selling at our main lots, but we've got tents at the Canal Mall and the Old Sport Mart Plaza. Every test drive is a chance to win $1,000. Buy a car and get your choice of $1,000 cash, no payments until 2023, 250 gallons of gas, or take a bigger discount.
With the best trade-in figures powered by Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, you can get the best deals of the year.
Go to TopJ4.com and see for yourself.
At Dutchman.
Back here at Joe Eddie Cowley Field, 57th and final season for this historic field. As now Levi Paxton dealing with some cramps, it looked like. He was set to tee off, and then it looked like right as he went to bend down to readjust the football, the cramps set in and immediately down to the grass.
Yeah, I mean, and especially if you're a kicker, you want to make sure that leg gets nice and stretched out as soon as they can. He's still down, doesn't look to be, especially in pain, but still needs a little help, needs to get stretched out. So I'm not sure who their backup kicker is if he can't get this one off, but I mean,
because he is going to have to leave the field now. They called an injury timeout to deal with him, so
can't tell a number there.
On the kickoff to the Huskies now, number 82, Austin.
Yeah, that is Austin Randolph set to kick off now instead.
See what type of boot he's got.
And it could be potentially if Paxton's unable to stretch those cramps out and work through them, that could be a really big blow for the Huskies because he plays wide receiver, DB, and kicker now. And a return up from the Skyhawks, Braden Clark. Clark brings it up across the 35 to the 40. Nice return there for Scott to have decent field position on this drive, trying to answer this score from Herbert Hoover. Down 13 points now with 7:07 to go here in this third quarter.
Honestly, not the worst kick I've ever seen from a guy who presumably is not their go-to guy for a kickoff.
So how do the Skyhawks come out here to start this third quarter? First offensive drive in the second half for Scott. Fry takes the shotgun snap, throws it out into the flat, and that's complete out to Finney. Hall had it complete for a second out to Finney. He just couldn't haul it in. And Finney was wide open out in the flat, had some yards in front of him to work with. That incompletion stops the clock with 7:02 to go in the third quarter. Second down upcoming for the Skyhawks. And we can report that we are seeing Levi Paxton back out on the field. Fry with a beautiful play, keeps it himself, faked everybody out, and he's off to the races for a touchdown. 60-yard scamper for Matt Fry, and the Skyhawks are on the board again, 19-12.
I mean, poor number 13 out there just kind of turned and looked and didn't realize what was happening until he was well past him. That was an excellent fake, just what this Scott team needed. Put a lot of energy in there, and man, that was, especially considering Fry isn't really a running quarterback. He's more of a pocket passer, but damn, 60 yards to the house there.
Well, I think potentially that's Dane Hatfield that was looking at him. He's being stretched out right now. He may have just not known what to do because he was cramping up and was having a hard time moving a little there.
That make a little more sense.
Because he's a heck of a football. We saw him make a number of plays on the defensive side of the ball in the first half.
Great safety and quarterback.
So he's being stretched out now. We'll keep an eye on what happens with him as the Hoover offense is set to go back out on the field here in a moment. Skyhawks going to go for two, though. Pass into the end zone, and it is caught. Coming up with the reception there for the Skyhawks is Jaden Sharps. So now it's a 5-point game here with 6:52 to go in the third quarter. Skyhawks trailing 19-14 after the score and the 2-point conversion.
Skyhawks 14.
keep.
Gotten a little bit quiet over there on the Scott sideline, but now a lot of excitement after a huge play to put them. Not that they were out of this game, but right in the thick of it now, only down 5.
Number 51.
Hearing the cowbells, ring-a-ling, ring, ring, over on the far side of the field. Again, with 6:52, we've got ourselves a 5-point ball game. Back-to-back nights, we've had great games to start off this first week of the season in West Virginia high school football. Had a 7-point game last night between Cabell Midland and George Washington. The Patriots getting the better of the Knights there, 28-21. And so far, a great one here still with plenty of time left to go in this one. 6:52 to go in the third, a 5-point ball game. Again, you are watching our high school game day Par-Mar Stores Game of the Week. A decent kickoff. It's fielded at the high point by Rocco Fry. Fry up across the 35, up near the 40 before he's upended. Seeing Finnessy as well as Kyle Fox in on the tackle for the Skyhawks. So we are seeing Hatfield come back out. We'll continue to monitor his cramping situation because, again, he was being worked on there after that 60-yard touchdown run by Fry to bring the Skyhawks back within 7 initially before the 2-point conversion pass that he hit to Jaden Sharps. 1st and 10 for the Huskies from their own 39-yard line. 2 receivers set out to each side of the formation. On the near side, it's Rollison and Burns. To the far side, it is Paxton, the slot man in the formation. I can't quite tell who it is on the far side. Fry takes the handoff, though, up the middle. He is stopped at the line of scrimmage. We do have a flag that comes in from the back judge, so we'll wait to see what this penalty is, but it's in the area of a hold, more than likely there in the trenches. And we're having now another cramp situation occurring out on the field. Again, this is to be expected here later in the game. As we talked about being right off the banks of the Elk River, that humidity is a little more turned up than it might be, say, in downtown Charleston or downtown Charleston, you still have the Kanawha River dealing with down there. But in, say, South Hills area, much different from last night's humidity.
And even though it was a pretty good stop on the run, there was a face mask called, so they're going to get about a 5-yard gain out of it. Well, not a gain, but get moved up 5 yards.
It'll still be first down for the Huskies, but 1st and 5 on the way as they work on the offensive lineman, the big right tackle, Caden Dotson, being treated for his cramps. And he is going to have some help coming off the field.
So far, I believe he's the first one who needs some help off, so hopefully it's just crammed, and hopefully they can get him good to go before long.
Sometimes it's hard to get those big guys moving again. Once those cramps set in, you really, really got to constantly work on those and stay moving and stay agile while those cramps are trying to set in. It's tough to do, but that's one of the best ways to try to beat it. So 1st and 5 now for the Huskies after the face mask. Play action fake. Hatfield airing it out deep down the far side, looking for Paxton, and Paxton just a little overthrown. He had had great positioning amongst the defenders. The ball just a little too far thrown over his head. Made a great effort to try to get it, just couldn't bring it in as Jaden Sharps was in over the top and underneath.
He got a little bit of a hit on him as it got there. So combination, just a little bit overthrown and a pretty decent hit there at the end.
So 2nd and 5 now after the incompletion. 6:32 to go in this third quarter. Handoff goes up the middle to Fry. Fry breaks out of a couple tackles, still on his feet across midfield after getting the first down. Picked up some more yardage after that as he got in to Scott territory.
Ball spotted on the 47-yard line of the Skyhawks. First and Husky.
Chains reset into Skyhawk territory for the Huskies. As Paxton checks off, it'll be a 2-receiver set over on the far side. That's Bryce Grimm joining Andrew Rollison. Handoff up the middle. Now bouncing out to the right is Fry. Fry spins off a couple would-be tacklers, still on his feet. Has a nice game there on first down. Picks up about 5.
Eventually brought down by number 55.
Not a great job by Scott on this drive, especially of their defense of really wrapping up. There are a lot of hits, a lot of arm tackles, and Fry's just too big a guy and too tough a runner for that to work consistently. So a little bit shorter tackling needed from Scott as we move forward.
2nd and 5 on the way for the Huskies as they looked over to the sideline for the play call. Under 10 on the play clock, just over 5 to go here in the third quarter. Hand off to Fry again, and Fry down near the 40. Picks up about 2, maybe 3 yards there, depending on where they spot the ball. If they say he got inside the 40, it'll be 3. Yeah, they are going to spot it just a hair inside the 40.
That was Fry's 10th carry on the day, 67 yards, pretty efficient runner.
3rd and short on the way for the Huskies. Skyhawk defense wants a stop here to send the offense back out to try to take the lead for the first time tonight. Hatfield, quarterback keeper, spins out of a tackle, and that spin move gets him enough yardage for the first down. And that extends the drive for Herbert Hoover. As Fry now needs to check out, he'll be replaced by Hugert in the backfield. So 1st and 10 now from the 36. Nice 5-yard pickup there. Hatfield takes the snap, hands off to Hugert. Hugert drops his shoulder and fights his way out of a tackle. Picks up another nice gain there. Picks up about 4, it looks like. Depending on, again, where they spot the ball. We'll give him 4, so bring up 2nd and 6. After starting relatively slow on the ground outside of Hatfield, things are finally starting to pick up for these Herbert Hoover backs other than Hatfield.
Yeah, Fry's starting to get more involved. It looks like they're trying to get Hugart going a little bit here, too. Had a net of 0 after his first 3 carries, but now he's starting to find his footing a little bit. Also had a really good screen pass, or screen reception.
They're going to hand it off to Hugert again. Hugert breaks through a couple of tackles, still on his feet, down inside the 30, just inside the 30. Pick up about 2 yards there on that run. Bring up 3rd and a long 3. Just over 3 minutes left here in the third quarter. 5-point game. Huskies with the lead and the football, driving toward the red zone. Adam Rogers, Will Vance, our Nitro Broadcast Network crew. Happy to have you with us here on our high school game day, Par-Mar Store's Game of the Week. Hatfield met at the line of scrimmage and stood up. Keeps his leg moving forward, though. Picks up maybe a yard down to the 29. Bring up 3rd and a full 3 now instead of about 3.5.
It's like no consideration about not going for it here on 4th down. Right about the 30, 29.
Momentum shift could go either way here. Could swing for the Huskies, keeping the offense out on the field for a potential scoring drive. Or for the Skyhawks, it could be a stop and then put the offense out there to score. And before we get a play off, the Huskies going to call a timeout here to talk things over with, as there was about 5 seconds on the play clock. Didn't see what they liked from that Skyhawk defense on that upcoming 4th down.
Yeah, it really looked like what was coming was an overload blitz to the left side. They had about 3 guys standing up over top their left tackle. So might not like the looks of that. Go talk it over, see if they can come up with something better here to get about 4 yards.
Take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, West Virginia Coal Association, and still, coal keeps the stadium lights on. Martin Transport, join the team of highly skilled CDL drivers for the best pay and benefits. Mullins Plumbing and Heating, a proud partner of Game Day. Contact us today for a free consultation. Also want to thank Paddler's Bar and Grill, proud to support Herbert Hoover Athletics, located at 12 Maywood Avenue in Clendenin. family-friendly atmosphere, made from scratch food, and full drink menu. Come to see us. We'll be waiting for you. And Mama Payne's Diner. Mama Payne's Diner located at 14 Main Street, Clendenin. Daily specials plus many, many more regular menu items. Come in as customers, leave as family. And Clendenin Brewing Company is a major part of the town's comeback after the devastating 2016 floods. The brewery now open Thursday through Saturday, serving craft beer and food. Visit ClendeninBrewing.net to purchase hats, t-shirts, and other swag in support of the newest addition to the town. Action about to get back underway here at Joe Eddie Cowley Field. Final season of this field, and a great game to start off the final season of the year, or final season of this field. Hatfield fires it out, passes tip, and it's intercepted. Brinegar catches it on the near. Check that, it's not Brinegar, it's Isaiah Bush with his second interception. Bush already returned one to the house. Can he do it again? Hatfield, the last guy to try to stop him, and Hatfield does bring him down inside the 15. Carson Brinegar with the pick, or excuse me, Isaiah Bush, excuse me, with the pick. His second interception of this contest, and talk about the momentum shift to the Skyhawks.
And that looked like the play they had scored on previously, getting a guy out in the flat, trying to hit that short pass and turn it upfield. They were ready for it that time, made the interception. Had a train there. He's disappointed he wasn't able to get in the end zone. Great effort by Hatfield to prevent that interception from turning into another pick six. Someone is down. I believe that might be Hatfield down again, getting a cramp worked out.
That was a long run for him to try to make that tackle after throwing the interception.
And through traffic. I mean, he had someone on him the whole time he was trying to fight through.
So he is being seen to, or we believe that is him being seen to on the field right now by the training staff. Clock stopped with 2 minutes left to go here in this third quarter. Skyhawks trailing 19-14, but may have just scored the momentum that they need.
Yeah, well, at the same time, we did see them start a drive at the 18 and were unable to punch it in. So definitely not a sure thing, but a lot of energy over there for Scott. And if they can punch this one in, it'll be a whole new ball game as we head towards the fourth quarter.
Getting set for 1st and 10 from the Hoover 13-yard line. If this isn't the best spot for the Skyhawks to take the lead, I'm not sure what would be even better than this. Maybe at the 1, I guess could be only that much better, but after the way this defense has played tonight, the offense needs to pick up some of the momentum and the lion's share of work for Scott. That is now the 3rd interception of the night for the Skyhawk defense, and we can tell you that is indeed Dane Hatfield that was on the field being seen to by the training staff. He is able to walk under his own power, a little slowly, I will say, but he is walking under his own ability. So we will continue to monitor his situation. We now turn our attention to this Scott Skyhawks offense. 1st and 10 from the Hoover 13 with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, trailing by 5. Handoff goes off the right guard. That will be Kyle Fox with the carry. Fox picks up 3 yards down to the 10. And you can just feel the energy sucked out of this near side of the field on the Herbert Hoover side of the stadium. Fry fires one out toward the end zone, trying to throw it up there for Braden Clark. Clark meets it at the high point, but with some deflection, some arms in there, loses the football trying to bring it in.
That was just a good throw that met good defense there.
Yeah, Andrew Rollison in on the coverage, as was John Jones for Herbert Hoover. Incompletion brings up 3rd down and 7 from the 10. Clock stopped with 1:36 to go in the third quarter. Again, we've got a great one already, folks. It's only going to get better, it seems, as we make our way to the fourth quarter. Fry, send a man in motion. That was Brinegar. Brinegar now on a jet sweep out to the left. Breaks out of 2 tackles. Breaks out of a 3rd. Drops his shoulders. Fights through some contact. And is finally forced out of bounds inside the 10, down near the 5.
He left a trail of Huskies along the way. Those cramps it's almost like they're contagious out there right now.
Yes, 2 Husky players down dealing with cramps right now. And waiting for them to spot the ball, because it will be 4th down upcoming for Scott. And Scott taking advantage of this injury timeout, because you don't have to burn one of your own, and you probably wouldn't at this point. Maybe you would to talk over 4th down, but the injury timeout playing pretty big right now for the Skyhawks.
I don't know if they had a more thought-out hydration regimen or something, but Scott seems to have gotten off relatively. I mean, I think they have had at least one guy cramp up, but they will keep their guys off the turf, and if we come down the stretch, that might become a factor.
Again, we talked about how these cramps play into the season at the beginning of the year, every year in high school football in West Virginia. The climate here is very unforgiving for high school athletes that play outdoors in the fall in these early parts of the season. Difficult for soccer players as well as football players. So we are seeing on the near side, able to get up now is Gavin Allison, the senior inside linebacker, walking off the field with just a little bit of assistance, but mostly under his own power. And still being worked on over on the far side is another Hoover player. Can't quite tell who that is just yet, but 4th and 3 upcoming for Scott. And the Skyhawks in the huddle discussing things now. 1:27 to go in the 3rd quarter. Scott with an opportunity to take the lead for the first time tonight. Trailed 6-0, tied it up 6-6 after a pick-6 return by Isaiah Bush. That was his first interception of the game. The second one has set his team up in this situation they're currently in right now. And then the Huskies took a 13-6 lead as Dane Hatfield converted a 4th and 13 on a 30-yard touchdown run. Went into the locker rooms at 13-6 your score in favor of the Huskies. Herbert Hoover scored in the 3rd quarter earlier. Hatfield hitting Rollison on a 7-yard touchdown pass. Their extra point try was no good, so 19-3. 19-3 was our 6 was our score. Excuse me. Can't read my own writing, folks. Then the Skyhawks had an impressive 60-yard run from Matt Fry, who fooled everybody on the field. And then he, again, took it 60 yards into the house on the ground using his legs. He then hit Jaden Sharps on a 2-point conversion pass to make it 19-14, which is our current score. Being helped off the field there for the Huskies is Andrew Rollison, one of their star players, both offensively and defensively. Again, has one of those 2 receiving touchdowns from Hatfield in this game so far.
And these guys, they need to use a couple minutes to really be ready to get back out there. And it's kind of starting to build up the number of guys, key contributors they have on the side trying to get stretched out and ready to go.
4th and 3 on the way for the Skyhawks. The Hoover fan base making some noise just in front of us. Fry in the shotgun, has 3 receivers to his left. Drops back to pass, pump fake. Gonna keep it himself, trying to turn downfield. And he is going to be stopped right around the first down marker.
They'll have to check.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to bring the chains over, I'm sure, to measure this one out. But we have another Hoover player down on the field. Not quite certain, again, if this is cramps or if it's any more serious, but he will be seen to by the training staff. Again, we told you this would play a big factor in these games this week and in the first couple weeks of this high school football season. 1:17 to go here in this 3rd quarter. We'll step aside for a quick break and then come back with more here on the High School Game Day, Par-Mar Store's Game of the Week.
In Kanawha County classrooms, students of all ages and abilities have access to cutting-edge technologies and ideas. Here, students are supported by a community of teachers, coaches, parents, and administrators with the tradition of ensuring that each child has an equal opportunity to thrive. Where the answer to every what if is we're ready. We're ready to dream bigger, to climb higher. We're ready. Kanawha County Schools, ready for the world.
here at Joe Eddie Cowley Field. Skyhawks stopped short of the first down marker to gain, so a turnover on downs, and the Huskies are back out on the field on offense, back inside their own 5-yard line, though, at the 3. Hatfield takes a low snap, picks it up, hands it off to his tailback, Fry, and Fry gives his offense a little bit more breathing room as he picks up a couple up to the 5-yard line. Dalton Milan in on the stop, the outside linebacker.
3 yards brings up a second down and 7.
Excuse me, they're going to spot him at the 6, so make that a 3-yard gain instead of a 2-yard gain. Under a minute to go now in this third quarter. So we get ready to make our way to the fourth. Don't forget, in the fourth quarter, we'll have our Kroger player of the game. Handoff goes up the middle to Fry. Fry with a first down rumble up across the 15 to the 16. Give him 10 yards on that run. Clock stops briefly at 36.5 seconds. Now underway as they spot the football. Huskies will have to snap the ball one more time here in this quarter before they flip ends of the field. Long look over to the sideline for this play call for Herbert Hoover. 10 seconds now on the play clock. Hatfield in the shotgun, takes the snap, hands off to his tailback Fry, and Fry is met at the line of scrimmage, actually may have lost a yard there, and that will be the final play of the third quarter. They'll flip into the field, put a fresh 12 up on the scoreboard, and as we come back, we'll have the fourth quarter for you, where the Herbert Hoover Huskies lead here at home over the Scott Skyhawks, 19-14. We're back with more right after this, here on your high school game day, Parmar Stores Game of the Week.
This is our biggest event ever with the most cars and the most offers.
We've got 4 locations of inventory. Not only are we selling at our main lots, but we've got tents at the Canal Mall and the Old Sport Mart Plaza. Every test drive is a chance to win $1,000. Buy a car and get your choice of $1,000 cash, no payments until 2023, 250 gallons of gas, or take a bigger discount.
With the best trade-in figures powered by Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, you can get the best.
I'm attorney Bobby Warner. Congress recently created a fund to compensate victims of Camp Lejeune who were exposed to toxic waters between 1953 and 1987. If you or a loved one were diagnosed with cancer or other health issues related to toxic water exposure at Camp Lejeune, call today for a free case evaluation.
Bobby Warner, now's the time. Call 345-6789.
Fourth quarter action about to get underway here at Joe Eddie Cowley Field. Handoff goes up the middle to Fry, and Fry is stopped right around the line of scrimmage.
Fast. How slow fast that is.
Nice job there by this Scott defense to wreak some havoc, hold him to no gain. Check that. A loss of 1 back to the 15-yard line. Or no gain, excuse me, yeah. The previous one was a loss of 1. So third and a long 10 on the way. Hatfield takes the snap, play action pass, throwing it out, and that is complete, but the traffic caused the receiver, Bryce Grimm, to fall on the ground. They hadn't had that crossing route happen at the timing they needed it to, because then Grimm ran into a defender and then lost his balance and fell down. So that brings up fourth down now. It was a gain of 5, but it's still 4th and 5 for Herbert Hoover. So great job by the Skyhawks defense to force a stop there.
And now they have to punt away the dangerous Brennigan, who's been impressive on every return he's had, whether it be a punt or a kick return.
Brenniger, when he gets out in open space, is a dangerous, dangerous man for the Scott Skyhawk offense. We saw him do it last year in the 2 games we watched, and we've seen him do it so far tonight.
It looks like he's going to have a chance to return this one.
Yeah, no, a rough punt there from the Huskies. Levi Paxton did get a nice bounce after the fact, though. It does skip out of bounds at the Skyhawk 41. So Scott will have good field position here on their first drive of the fourth quarter. An opportunity to take the lead for the first time tonight. But as we've mentioned, twice have been down inside the 20 and have been unable to score. Both times failing to convert on 4th and shorts. Now with a 1st and 10 from their own 41, what do the Skyhawks do? Fry lines up with a trip set. 3 receivers to the wide side of the formation. That's the right side. Fry with a quick snap, throws out to Brinegar in space on the screen. Brinegar with the space, makes a couple of men miss. Stiff arms another tackler, finally brought down from behind as he crossed the 40 and got down to the 35-yard line. A 26-yard gain on that reception as they mark him down at the 34. And again, we talked so much already about trying to get the ball to Brinegar in open space. They finally do it and get a 24-yard pickup there on first down. 26-yard pickup on first down. 1st and 10 now from the Hoover 34-yard line. Under 10 minutes to go. Handoff goes up the middle, and the Hoover defense quickly meets the tailback Kyle Fox, and Fox spins his way down to the 32, so a 2-yard run. And now we're seeing another Hoover player down on the grass surface here. I believe that's Caden Dotson, the right tackle and the defensive end for this Hoover team. So he will be seen to by the training staff, and while he's being seen to, we'll take this opportunity to thank our sponsors. I want to thank the West Virginia Coal Association, and still, coal keeps the stadium lights on. Martin Transport, join the team of highly skilled CDL drivers for the best pay and benefits. Mullins Plumbing and Heating, a proud partner of Game Day. Contact us today for a free consultation. I want to also make certain to thank Paddler's Bar and Grill, proud to support Herbert Hoover Athletics, located at 12 Maywood Avenue, Clendenin. Family-friendly atmosphere, made from scratch food, and a full drink menu. Come see us soon. We'll be waiting for you. Mama Payne's Diner is located at 14 Main Street in Clendenin. Daily specials, plus many more regular menu items. Come in as customers, leave as family. And Clendenin Brewing Company. It's a major part of the town's comeback after those devastating floods in 2016. Brewery now open Thursday through Sunday, serving craft beer and food. Visit ClendeninBrewing.net to purchase hats, t-shirts, and other swag in support of the newest addition to the town.
And we like to talk about how we usually stop by Parmar's. We might need to stop by that Clendenin Brewing Company one of these days. Sounds like a nice little place.
We'll definitely be making a trip there, I'm sure, at some point in time. And, we would encourage you to if you are of the appropriate age. But if not, stop by a Parmar store because, there's plenty of beverage options there. And if there's not a Parmar near you, there will be one soon. I want to thank them for sponsoring our high school game day game of the week. I believe that was not Caden Dotson. It looks like it was Zach Greer that was being seen to. Their big nose guard. Yeah, the 6 and 5 looked a little scrunched up there. Couldn't quite tell with him being seen to on the field. But he's over on the sideline now. Back ready to go here. Fourth quarter action. Fry takes the snap out of the shotgun on second down. Fires it across the middle. That's caught by Braden Clark. Clark has the first down and has a couple of extra yards after that. Great job by Clark turning his body back to the football to make that catch on that curl route. First down, chains reset. 1st and 10 at the Hoover 21-yard line. Just outside the red zone now are the Skyhawks. Again, trying to score and take the lead for the first time tonight. Have trailed all night long, except when it was a 6-6 tie. Throw almost got away from Brinegar, but great hands by him to pull that throw that was a little outside and bring it into his body. First down catch down to the 15-yard line. A 6-yard pickup makes it 2nd down and 4.
That's 5 catches now for 73 yards for Brinegar, who, like we said, is contributing on defense and special teams in the return game as well.
About 8.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Hoover defense trying to get a stop. Skyhawks trying to take the lead. Fry under some pressure, throws across the middle, and the official there in the middle of the field has to get out of the way. Intended for Brinegar. Paxton with great coverage on that throw. And that'll bring up 3rd and 4 after the incompletion. Seeing Fry over on the far sideline, getting the play call, now coming into the huddle to bark the orders out. 5-point deficit for the Skyhawks here on the road in week number 1. Snap back to Fry in the shotgun, airing it out, and it's caught, stretching across the goal line, and in is Isaiah Bush. Bush with his 2nd touchdown of the evening, the first one for him, though, on the offensive end. And that there has given the Skyhawks a 1-point lead, their first lead of the game. 15-yard touchdown pass from Fry to Bush. And the Skyhawks more than likely going to look to go for 2 here and make it a 3-point lead.
A couple times we've mistaken Bush and Brinegar, number 5 and number 6, because they're both just playmakers out there doing great things, both playing receiver, both playing in that secondary, making plays. 2 guys who are really doing a great job.
Fry a play action thought, or at least like it was like a play action. Now he is going to throw it, pass into the end zone, and it is incomplete. I think the receiver did catch it, but he was standing out of bounds, so that's why it was incomplete. So it stays a 1-point game. 8:21 to go here in the final quarter of action. Skyhawks just took the lead for the first time, 20-19. We'll be back with more High School Game Days, Par Mar Stores Game of the Week right after this.
So Hoover kicks field goals, right, since they have a kicker?
At Dutch Miller Nissan of Bristol, we're offering no payments for 90 days on any vehicle in stock. And with every vehicle purchased, we're donating $100 to help Eastern Kentucky flood victims. Text or chat now at DutchMillerNissan.com. Summer just keeps getting hotter, and there's 3 things I can't wait to do. Run around my sprinkler in my skivvies. You look over my fence, you might just get an eyeful. Pour me a tall glass of sweet tea. I like it so sweet it makes my teeth itch. And roll the windows down and feel the breeze in my brand new truck from Dutch Miller Ram of South Charleston.
During the Make This the Summer event, ask about ordering the vehicle you want the way you want it fast. Direct from the manufacturer, and every brand new truck comes with a $250 gas card.
For the first time tonight, the far sideline off the banks of the Elk River, the Scott Skyhawks section is louder than this Elk River community crowd for the Herbert Hoover Huskies. A short kickoff, scooped up just in front of the 30 by the Hoover Huskies, and then immediately into the pile and brought down at the 35 by Rocco Fry.
Looks like Fry ran into his own fellow there. That's what really brought him down, but still decent field position after a decent kick.
The Huskies going to need this supporters on this near side to start getting loud, try to bring them some life. As you can see, just a little bit of the body attitudes from the Huskies near sideline. Definitely not happy with the way things have turned here in the last few minutes. The Huskies going to try to take back the lead here now. 1st and 10 from their own 35. Handoff goes up the middle, and Hugert stopped after a 1-yard gain.
Brought down by number 50. Wade Green.
Hugert just really not able to find his footing here in the early goings of the season. 7 carries for 8 yards right now at this point.
Best thing for him was that screen pass he caught earlier. It's been the biggest gain he's had all evening long.
That was pretty, about 20 yards.
2nd and a long 9, and a throw out into the flat on an attempted screen, and we do have a flag that comes in. The question is it defensive holding? Is it, I don't know what it could be. It's in the vicinity of quite a few things it could be. That's a holding against the Huskies.
You usually don't want to trust the players, but the Skyhawks were pretty clear on what they thought the call was, not the direction the Huskies are looking to go right now.
But the Skyhawks going to turn down the penalty because it was 2nd and 10. Now it's 3rd and 10. try to limit the opportunities for the Huskies offense to be out on the field. They would rather them be facing 3rd and 10 than 2nd and 20 and have potentially 2 more downs. Still, though, could have 2 more downs here depending on what happens with this result. The Huskies have gone for it a couple of times.
The Huskies not afraid to try to get something going on 4th with the offense, so hard to tell what's going to happen here.
Clock stopped. Yeah, clock stopped with 7:43, and now a timeout requested and granted to the Huskies. Going to talk things over on what they want to do here on 3rd and 10. Adam Rogers, Will Vance, and our Nitro Broadcast Network crew. Happy to have you along with us here this evening from our Frontier Communications broadcast booth. This has been a fantastic game this evening, Will. The Skyhawks already scoring more points tonight than they did last year in Game 1 of the season against this very Herbert Hoover Husky team. The Huskies looking pretty good at times, just haven't been able to string together drives to be that dominant force we were used to seeing last year.
And Adam, something we talked about earlier was, even though after that first game against Scott, the Huskies really took off and were just blowing people out on offense, Scott already knows that they held them last year when they were historic. So, they came into this game with a reasonable amount of confidence, and they've given themselves more confidence as they went. The good field position oftentimes, the 3 interceptions, just really putting themselves in position all game to hang around, and now they've finally taken their lead. And let's see if they can hold it against, again, like I said, a very potent offense here for Hoover.
Huskies break the huddle, ready to go now after calling the timeout on 3rd and 10. 7:43 to go in the 4th quarter. Herbert Hoover trailing by 1, 20-19 here in the first game of the final season at Joe Eddie Cowley Field. Pass thrown out on the far side, and it's dropped. Levi Paxton was wide open over on the far sideline, found the soft spot in that defensive zone, and just couldn't haul it in. That's the 2nd or 3rd time that's unfortunately happened to Paxton this evening.
And Paxton it seems like they need to cover him tighter. It seems like if he was covered, he'd make those catches, but just an unfortunate drop there, but it looks like they are going to punt it away.
Yeah, out comes the punt team now for Herbert Hoover. In no sense to try to rush this away, obviously, and try to go for it on 4th down, because it's not a great field position spot for the Huskies, and you're only down 1 with still 7:38 to go, and your defense has done a pretty good job of stopping Scott for the most part. A bad snap, but Paxton able to get it away. Brinegar fields it at the 29, and he's going to bring it up. Up across the 45 and brought down just shy of midfield. Another good return for Carson Brinegar. And now this Hoover defense really would love to see the stop come here to be able to put the offense back out on the field.
And for Scott, it's ball security, constant offense. You don't need chunk plays. You just need first downs. Work your way down the field, hold the ball, maybe go up by 2 scores, or just keep it as long as you can.
The junior quarterback, Matt Fry, and the offense back out on the field for the Skyhawks. Trips now turns into duos. Actually, they're going to bring Brinegar on a jet sweep back the other way after he was the motion man. Now he cuts back to the opposite side of the field, and he's got a nice gain in front of him. He's got a first down, cuts to the sideline, still on his feet, up across the 25 and down near the 20. Wow, what shiftiness from Carson Brinegar. The sophomore with a 30-yard run there for the Skyhawk offense. My goodness, the shiftiness. First and 10 from the 19. Under 7 to go now. First down inside the red zone for Scott. Trips to the near side. Fry drops back to pass, throws across the middle on the same pass that they scored the touchdown last time, looking for the same man he found, Isaiah Bush. Just put it a little too far in front of him, but Bush did have the separation there on the outside. If Fry had just thrown it a half second later in the same spot, that's probably a touchdown.
And there are a lot of hands on hips there from that Hoover defense. Not what you want to see when you're getting backed up in your end zone down by 1.
lot of guys, again, a lot of guys for both of these teams playing both ways, but the Huskies seemingly having quite a few more playing on both sides of the football. 2nd and 10, and a timeout requested and granted to Scott's head coach Jeremy Dolan. 6:46 to go here in this fourth quarter. We will step aside for a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more fourth quarter action for you here on our high school game day, Parmar Store's Game of the Week.
At Dutch Miller Subaru during the summer sales event, we're putting together deals that make right now the perfect time to buy or lease a new vehicle. How about brand new 2022 and 2023 year models with financing as low as 2.9%? And don't forget to check out our more than 20 certified pre-owned vehicles in stock. Text or chat now and even get pre-approved at DutchMillerSubaru.com or come in today for the summer sales event going on now only at Dutch Miller Subaru in Charleston.
Welcome to the Dutch Miller Auto Show.
Today on the Dutch Miller Auto Show.
People are mean to each other, man. Why are we? Let's not be mean to each other.
Don't read the comments, and I'm telling you, listen,
exit through the gift shop.
Second down and 10 after the incompletion. Fry under some pressure. Gets the football away, though, somehow. Oh, my goodness. Fry had no business whatsoever getting rid of that football. He avoids the sack, but it does fall incomplete. But the pressure from the Hoover defense was unbelievable there for him to still get that off.
Through this game, Hoover's done a good job of getting pressure, of getting penetration on the front, of getting some edge rushing, but he's done a great job of escaping. He might not complete many of them after he started running, but he's done a great job of not creating negative plays, of getting the ball away, of finding somebody, or just breaking out like he did for the couple long runs.
Back-to-back incompletions now for Fry. 3rd down and 10 upcoming. Fry takes a shotgun snap. He has some time, now under some pressure, rolling to his right, throws it out along the sideline, and that's incomplete. And he took a pretty big lick after he let go of that football, well within the legal limits, but did take a pretty big hit. And that will bring up 4th and 10 now after the 3rd straight incompletion on this drive. Stops the clock at 6:32 left here in the 4th in a 1-point game.
Unless they have faith in their kicker, I don't see any reason not to go for it here.
Dalton Milam is the kicker for the Skyhawks, just a sophomore. But the Skyhawks are going to keep the offense out on the field. 4th and 10 from the Hoover 19. 1-point game. Fry takes the shotgun snap, surveys, throws across the middle, tipped, and it's batted, and it's caught! Oh my goodness! Carson Brinegar somehow brings it in. Off a deflection, it lands into the hands of the sophomore, Carson Brinegar, for the touchdown. 7-point lead for the Scott Skyhawks, 26-19 with 6:25 to go in the 4th. What a play for Scott High School.
Now, there must have been, I think, maybe up to 4 guys actually got at least a finger on that ball before Brinegar was able to come down with it. Huge play there. A chance to make it more than just the most tenuous lead you can possibly have. Looking to go for a single point here. Or at least looking like it.
Extra point is up. And it is good. 8-point ball game here in the 4th quarter. Scott extends the lead. 27-19 with 6:25 to go here in the 4th quarter. You're watching High School Game Days, Parmar Store's Game of the Week. Thanks for joining us here in our Frontier Communications broadcast booth. Adam Rogers, Will Vance, our Nitro Broadcast Network crew. Appreciate their efforts this evening. Want to make certain to thank them again. Dr. Joe Oliver, our producer, director, and our camera operators tonight, Ryan Robinson and Easton Hilbert, doing a great job for us tonight. Will, again, we said it, we were hoping for a good game tonight, and you have definitely gotten the cost of admission worth of action here this evening.
Oh, yeah, especially if you made the trip up from Boone County. 2 teams that are pretty evenly matched. They both got quarterbacks who can make plays. Fry's a little bit more of a passing guy, whereas Hatfield's a better runner. But man, just 2 teams are a little more evenly matched than they may have looked on paper going into this one.
Skyhawks, a program on the rebound after making the playoffs last year. After a 7-3 regular season, got into the playoffs for the first time since 2014. The Huskies had a 10-0 regular season last year, first time since 1977, but both teams were bounced in the first round of the playoffs last year in Class AA. Skyhawks trying to start off the year with a statement win over these Herbert Hoover Huskies. Huskies after the kickoff, Fry takes the football up to the 36-yard line, so decent starting field position for the Huskies here, but
plenty of time, like kind of what I was saying about Scott before. You don't need to get it all at once. You just need first down for first down to get down there. Maybe when it gets to about 2-3 minutes, start worrying about it. But right now, just run your offense, get down towards the field, and try to take this lead, or at least tie it.
Trailing by 8, it'll take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie the game. And I'm not really sure where Hatfield was throwing the football to. There was nobody in the vicinity.
Wasn't out of the tackle box either.
Yeah, surprised we're not seeing an intentional grounding there. I didn't see anybody in the vicinity of the throw, and
I'm not sure how they're not going to throw a flag on that when they already hit Scott with an intentional grounding that was a lot less benign than that.
Wow.
That's a blunt
call. We'll just say wow, and we'll leave it at that. 2nd down and 10 now after the incompletion. Trips look for the Huskies out to the wide side of the field. Hatfield throws to the near side, and that throw off the mark. Trying to find his intended target of Jacob Burns, and he just overthrew it. And it looks like Hatfield might be dealing with some cramping issues still. Can see him a couple of times picking his legs up and just giving a good stretch. Looks like he's okay right now, but 3rd and 10 on the way for the Huskies. Clock stop with 6:13. Throw is caught. That's Bryce Grimm. Grimm has the first down as he's up across the 45, and he's brought down at the 47-yard line. Excuse me, 48-yard line. Nice gain there for the Huskies. As they convert on 3rd and 10. Pickup of 12. Hatfield drops back to pass, throws to the near side, and it's intercepted! Picking it off is Isaiah Bush for the 3rd time, and he's got nobody in front of him. For the 2nd time tonight, Isaiah Bush goes all the way to the end zone. His 2nd pick 6 of the game, and Bush takes it in again from about 50 yards out, and that puts the Skyhawks on top 33-19 with 5:46 to go.
Those fans for Scott definitely glad they made this trip. This defense especially. I mean, we've talked about it really since the first couple of drives. The secondary and that front 7 has really been bringing it, and Bush especially just making a great contribution this game. I mean, I don't remember the last time I saw 2 pick sixes at really any level of football from the same player. I'm sure I have, but extra point is up and good. Now a 15-point lead.
Yes, the 2nd pick 6 of the night, 3rd touchdown of the night for Isaiah Bush, and I think we got ourselves a pretty sizable lead for our Kroger player of the game. If Will doesn't pick Isaiah Bush, I might have to override him, but I think that we're both thinking the same thing right now because he has made big play after big play, and that's his 3rd interception of the night.
Unless someone just blows away right now, there's going to be an honorable mention, but it's pretty clear at this point.
Now, the Huskies still are not out of it. Don't want to write this one off fully yet. The Huskies very much have the offensive firepower, the ability with the coaching staff minds to pull it off. But 15 points, 5:46, you got to start picking up the tempo a little bit better here in this final quarter of action.
They have been getting pretty good field position off of these kickoffs, so not the worst setup you could possibly have.
High kick is caught at the 25. Nice return here, up across the 40. Bringing that up is Samuel Salyers. Salyers up to the 42-yard. Well, wait for they spot the ball. I think they just placed the football down. Okay, yeah, they will spot it at the 43-yard line. So pretty good field position again, yeah, here for the Huskies. But once again, how does Dane Hatfield respond to throwing that pick six?
Yeah, I mean, we know he can air it out. He had that long 66-yard touchdown earlier. He's really gotten a couple big plays with his legs. Still a lot in the arsenal here for the Huskies, and nearly half of a quarter to get things done. A team that can put up points in bunches, so not quite panic mode yet.
Alec Harrison, the left tackle, running on late, and now a sack by the Skyhawk defense. And some extracurriculars a little there after the play. Some flags thrown late. Had what looked like both Connor Hughes and Keaton Wheatley getting back to Hatfield. And again, might be an unnecessary roughness, unsportsmanlike conduct. Yeah, it's going to be an unsportsmanlike against the Skyhawks. So both teams going to march the way of the penalty down the field. Still checking things over to make certain they march off the appropriate distance from the appropriate spot. And that penalty will move the Herbert Hoover Huskies into Scott territory. And it will still be first down. That 10-yard penalty was thrown 2 yards in the backfield, so it is now effectively first and a long two. Hatfield drops back to pass, throws it, it's intercepted! Connor Hughes picks him off, and Hughes gonna try to make his way to the end zone. Hughes tripped up though, I think just got cramped up, yeah. Because he tried to make that cutback move to the inside to get around Hatfield, the quarterback, and then the cramp caught him as he tried to go farther downfield. But another interception, unfortunately, for Dane Hatfield, and the Scott Skyhawks start with the football inside the goal area, or excuse me, just outside the goal area. Okay, they are telling the chain gang to hold off just the downs marker, so it will be first and goal from the 10 for Scott High. And Will, we talked a while ago about the momentum shift for Scott. That fourth down play a while ago, got the stop, and then the momentum has swung in favor of the Scott Skyhawks, going sky high.
Yeah, Skyhawks just were able to ride out some tough times and were able to find some momentum.
Handoff goes to Kyle Fox on the first and goal play. Got back maybe to the line of scrimmage. May have lost about a half yard depending on where they spot the ball.
Harrison with tackle.
Skyhawks leading by 15, trying to extend the lead here with second and goal from the second and goal from about the 10.5. Scott looking for the upset on the road here in week number 1. Handoff to Fox again, and Fox got down inside the 10, maybe down to the 9. Give him a yard and a half. And as much as Scott would love to score here, Will, you don't necessarily need to if you decide to ultimately go for it on 4-down territory at this point, because then the defense has the offense for the Hoover Huskies backed up inside deep in their own territory. We'll see what the Skyhawks do offensively here on 3rd down before we worry about that just yet. Man in motion was Brenniger, now goes back out to that duo set on a jet sweep. Brenniger going to be stopped down near the 5-yard line, depending on where they spot him. May have come up short of that by a yard. Going to spot him down to the 7, so a 2-yard run will bring up 4th and goal from the 7. And again, the Skyhawk offense is going to stay out there here. Because, again, once more, if you don't convert, at worst, your defense is in great field position against that Husky offense. Trip set to the far side, play clock running out. And before that runs out, a timeout requested and granted to head coach Jeremy Dolan for the Skyhawks. 3:14 to go here in this fourth quarter. Scott High leading by 15, 34-19. We'll step aside for a quick break and be back with more High School Game Days, Parmar Store's Game of the Week right after this.
What started as the Parmar Oil Company in 1967 has grown into 116 convenience stores in 4 states. Parmar convenience stores offer monthly product specials and grab-and-go items. Located just down the street from where you live, Parmar stores are all about being your above-par convenience store. If you don't have a Parmar store near you now, you will soon. Parmar Convenience Stores, neighbors serving your community and making life a little bit easier every day.
Just a reminder, if there's not a Parmar store near you, there will be one soon here on our High School Game Day Parmar Store's Game of the Week. 4th and goal from the 7 upcoming for the Skyhawks. Fry dancing around, throws toward the end zone, pass is tipped, and it'll fall incomplete. So turnover on downs for the Skyhawks, but again, defense now set up in good field position against this Hoover offense, backed up inside their own 10. And now the Huskies really need to start working with some hurry, as they're going to have just over 3 minutes to go to try to score 15 points.
Does not look like to do it without their starting quarterback. I don't see Hatfield out there.
Yeah, Hatfield not out on the field now. Andrew Rollison is lining up in the backfield next to Rocco Fry. Rollison set to take the snap, hands it off to Fry. Fry has some space in front of him. Brenniger will upend him, though, near a first down as he got up across the 15. See Dane Hatfield here on the near side, standing a little bit away from the rest of his team, feeling probably pretty down on himself as he's had a rough night this evening, but still a lot of football left to be played in his career. Again, just a sophomore and only game 1 of his sophomore season, so still plenty of time to rebound from this. I know it doesn't feel good throwing 5 interceptions and 2 pick sixes, but still a lot of football left to be played for that young man, and you could tell he was dealing with some cramping issues. We talked about it earlier, still hobbling a little bit, and in the end, better to save him for the rest of this season than risk him hurting himself dealing with those cramps and trying to play through it. So smart move by the coaching staff to decide to pull him and end his day. And Rollison trying to go a quarterback power to the near side. He'll lose a couple of yards back to the 15-yard, or back inside the 15, rather, to the 14-yard line. 2 minutes left to go here in this contest, and, well, I think this one is pretty much well at hand now for the Scott Skyhawks. So we'll go ahead and get our Kroger player of the game, and I have a feeling you're going to be picking the guy we've called a couple of times making his way into the end zone.
Yeah, it's got to be Bush. I mean, he's just done such a good job. 3 interceptions. I mean, 2 of them taken back? That's incredible. Just a performance that I don't think I've ever personally witnessed. Right up until that 3rd interception, I was going to go with Brenniger. I want to give him an honorable mention. Also had some big plays on special teams, especially really putting his team in good position to start every drive, whether they scored on it or not. So Bush has to get it, but honorable mention Brenniger, just 2 really talented guys who are a huge, along with Fry. I mean, those 3 are really the guys who really fronted this effort to pull off what is really a big upset.
And the crazy thing still, again, just week 1 of the season, but all 3 of those players still come back next year. Fry Justice Jr., both Brenniger and Bush, sophomores for this Scott football team. Play clock runs out. And under a minute to go here in this 4th quarter. Again, our player of the game is the Scott Skyhawks wide receiver defensive back, sophomore Isaiah Bush. Had himself 3 interceptions, 2 pick sixes, also had an offensive receiving touchdown on a 15-yard catch. That one gave the Skyhawks the lead. So from there, Scott did not look back after taking the 2019 lead with 8:21 to go in the fourth quarter. It was an uphill battle for the Skyhawks, but they've climbed the mountain, and in this first game, they're going to come away with the win.
And after taking such a big step forward last year, getting back in the playoff, getting 7 wins, I mean, this is, if they wanted some proof that they can keep this momentum going, this is it. I mean, Hoover's the one of, if not the team to beat around Southern West Virginia, and they've done it.
Scott's offense will come back out on the field with a little more than 40 seconds left to go in the contest. Want to thank our sponsors for our broadcast this evening. Again, you are watching our high school game day Parmar Stores Game of the Week. Adam Rogers, Will Vance, our Nitro Broadcast Network crew here in our Frontier Communications broadcast booth. West Virginia Coal Association, and still coal keeps the stadium lights on. Martin Transport, join the team of highly skilled CDL drivers for the best pay and benefits. Mullins Plumbing and Heating, a proud partner of Game Day. Contact us today for a free consultation. I'd also like to thank Paddler's Bar and Grill, Mama Payne's Diner, and Clinton and Brewing Company. Knee taken by the Skyhawks, and it's all just formalities here. Scott may have to take a knee one more time. They're going to try to avoid it. And now they will not have to snap it one final time because the play clock hasn't started to roll. So that will be the final play of the game, the knee out by the Scott Skyhawks. Scott with a big statement win on the road here in week 1 of the 2022 high school football season in West Virginia. Wow, what a contest here on the banks of the Elk River.
Yeah, just a game that, both games we called in this opening weekend last night and tonight, it's not what we expected. Both teams played well. Hoover, it's not like they got whooped out there. They had made plays. They had excellent plays. Hatfield out there before he really started to deal with those injuries was looking like the two-way star that we saw flashes of last year, and he'll keep growing, only a sophomore. Lots of talent on both of these teams, but Scott certainly a team on the ascension in West Virginia Class AA. Hoover, trying to get to where Hoover is. Hoover's still very much a dangerous team, and I can't imagine that they'll have many more results that look like this.
So for Joey Fields and the Hoover coaching staff, it's back to the drawing board to figure out where things went wrong. But I think a lot of where things went wrong tonight was just the simple fact of the cramping caught up with the Hoover Huskies. It really threw Dane Hatfield out of his game. You could tell he couldn't quite get the positioning on his body the way he needed to be able to plant his feet there late in the game and make those throws, and that's why some of those throws ended up being intercepted and a couple of them being taken back to the house. So again, our Frontier Communications broadcast booth, Adam Rogers, Will Vance, and our Nitro Broadcast Network crew. Our Kroger player of the game tonight was Isaiah Bush. 3 total touchdowns for him, 2 pick sixes, 3 total interceptions on the evening for the sophomore wide receiver cornerback. For our Nitro Broadcast Network crew, want to thank our producer-director, Dr. Joe Oliver, our camera operators, Ryan Robinson and Easton Hilbert, and my color man, Will Vance. We appreciate you tuning in to our broadcast this evening, and we also hope that you join us next week as Will and I will once again be on the road for high school football here in West Virginia. We will have Ashland at GW next week, just one of a couple of games that we'll have for you on the RSN Sports Network powered by HD Media. So be certain to check out the RSN Sports website as well as Herald Dispatch and Charleston Gazette Mail's websites for recaps and photos of tonight's contest. But for our Nitro Broadcast Network crew and Will Vance, I'm Adam Rogers saying thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your night as the Scott Skyhawks win 34-19 over the Herbert Hoover Huskies here in week number 1.